Well, that's they're calling me the mush. Well, don't use it, and we'll see what happens. If you use it, then I'll say, it wasn't me, you guys. That was Ralph.
148 regarding vehicle theft, 116 burglary calls, and 111 aggravated assault complaints. The National Rifle Association and several other groups filed lawsuits challenging California's Glock ban. Last Friday, Governor Newsom signed into law a bill that prohibits the sale or transfer of Glock and Glock-style handguns. The lawsuit argues that the ban on these handguns violates the Second
Oh, is that? I didn't even notice that. And I saw the paper this morning.
Was delayed until December.
How is the food?
The motion is granted.
Yeah.
No jail time for Scrivener. If area retailers following apparent national trend, seasonal temporary hiring.
And I always heard it was one of the best burgers in town, even back in the day.
Gray and Christmas forecast overall holiday retail hiring could fall to its lowest point since the recession hit season of 2009. However, the firm acknowledges that only a handful of companies have made public commitments regarding holiday staffing, and it appears to be a wait-and-see situation. I'm John Shearer with KERN News. Weekdays every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Just for the yeah. I mean, I got regular gas, but yeah, I'm calling it. Yeah, I'm calling it Last Chance Friday.
And AM 1180.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably come up with a hard number on Monday.
Call in or text to 661-842
Yeah.
KERN. That's 661-842-5376.
No.
Listen live at KERNradio.com.
Thanks, Pop.
Now, the host you've been waiting all day for, live from the KERN studio. Here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody. And a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 at AM 1180 KERN. We stream live at kernradio.com. We got a busy Friday broadcast. This is our Last Chance Friday. I will explain what that's all about as we wrap up our Honor Flight Week. Fundraising for Honor Flight. To talk about that in just a second. And it is a Friday. We get back to our normal schedule. So Rick Bentley will join us at the bottom of the hour. We're off to New York City, 4 o'clock, to talk to the finest handicapper in the land, Brandon Lang. And I've got some topics that we've got to get to. We've dedicated the entire week to Honor Flight, and we're behind the 8 ball on some of the breaking news, and some of it is gargantuan. Donald Trump sat down with President Zelensky today after a 2.5-hour phone discussion with Vladimir Putin last night. And there are talks of long-range missiles being given to the Ukrainians, escalating the war to a point we've never seen. We'll unpack that for you. There's some local news we'll get into. The Scrivener situation takes yet another turn. The Arvin High School teacher who had sex with one of his students learns his fate. And, of course, 5:38 first pitch, Shohei Ohtani takes the bump for the Dodgers, and Jose Quintana takes the mound for the Brewers. And, well, you can't see it because I'm hiding it, but there's a broom behind me that I have nothing to do with. Nothing to do with. And I completely understand that if by some miracle, if the Milwaukee Brewers win 4 straight games, I understand every listener of the Ralph Bailey Show, the J.R. Flores Show, the Scott Cox Show will firmly place it on the doorstep of me.
Yes.
I completely understand that. And I'm willing to take on that responsibility. We may lose tonight. We may lose tomorrow, but we're not losing 4 in a row. But we'll see what happens. Couple of things. Again, we are still raising money for Honor Flight. There are several people. Want to thank Mike Turnipseed, who came by my house this morning with a pair of checks from both he and his lovely wife to the tune of $500, a total of $1,000. And Teresa Goldner, our Tuesday regular, also wanted to sponsor a veteran. She donated $1,500, the cost for the trip for one veteran. And you can still continue to contribute. Just call 842-5376, 842-5376, or use the QR code. Are they still located at the Sully's or no?
Yes, they should be located at all those Sully's locations we talked about yesterday. I wish I had the list here in front. Oh, I do. Give me 1 second.
I'll read them all.
Let's see. You got the Sully's on Buena Vista, 4833 Buena Vista Road. The Sully's on Ming Avenue at 11400 Ming Avenue. The Sully's on Coffee at 6009 Coffee Road. Sully's on Olive as well at 9709 Olive Drive. Sully's on Stockdale at 250 Coffee Road. The Ming Chevron, 6601 Ming Avenue. And the Sully's on Heath at 1601 Stockdale Highway.
All right, so
as well as Casey Steakhouse and Salty's locations.
Salty's Barbecue. Jeff was supposed to join me today along with Jen Baum, but they both have further commitments. And I just wanted to make a real quick announcement. As I've talked about, I've been blessed with an incredible career as a newspaper reporter in Los Angeles and here. I was a television anchor for 2 different stations for 6 years, and now for the last 25 years, I've been doing radio. And the single thing that I'm most proud of is my affiliation with Honor Flight. It has been the most rewarding, most fulfilling thing that I've ever done in all 3 careers in my long life. But I am stepping back from Honor Flight. My role, Flight 52, which was the best of all the 6 that I've been on, will be my last. The golf tournament's still scheduled for March. The future of the golf tournament is completely up to American General Media. While it was my idea, that is completely up to our general manager and management. But as I stated, my role will step back, and I am not a member of the board. I've never been asked to be a member of the board. I'm not involved in any decision making. I say that to make the point, Honor Flight loses nothing from me stepping back. In fact, Jen Bowden, who works with us, was recently asked to join the board. So they lose nothing by me stepping back. I just think that, I have a nephew in college. I have a mother who is ailing. I'm doing some side work for Kern Community College District, and I'm in the 4th quarter of my life and in my career. And there are things that I would like to focus on. And that's about as deep into it as I want to get. I think my loyal listeners know who I am and know at some point I will discuss why I'm stepping back, but now is not the time or the place. But having said that, you can still help us out. You can still help us out. And I will always continue to support Honor Flight, as I have said constantly, redundantly, anytime I get to talk about it. I think it's the finest organization in town because you actually, normally you're fighting for a cause. And while there is a cause, trying to provide reconciliation for veterans who, particularly with the Vietnam veterans, weren't treated well, the World War II veterans who I believe, never received the accolades that they deserve just by, simply saving democracy. And they're slowly, obviously, going away. And to be a part of an organization that still sends World War II veterans. There was one on Flight 52 that I got to meet and speak with in depth, is just simply amazing. And you're actually watching, if you go on the trip, which I strongly urge you do, take the $1,500 and sponsor a veteran and go on this trip. You actually see your work working. You see it firsthand when these gentlemen go to their respective memorials. So hope you'll help us out on this final day. We should have a final number sometime next week, and we'll do the check presentation. And don't forget about the Thursday breakfasts that occur the first Thursday of the month. I'm going to be at the next one because I know a lot of the veterans from this flight will be there, and I want to see those guys along with all the veterans that I've met on the 5 prior trips that I've been on. Let's get started. We got a busy broadcast. The President of the United States sat down with Vladimir Putin last night, sat down with on the phone with Putin, and sat down in person with the President of Ukraine today. And the discussion of Tomahawk missiles is now on the table. Is that a smart move? Does that escalate this thing beyond anything that has been thus far? Does it get us directly involved? We'll talk about that. Rick Bentley at the bottom of the hour, Brandon Lang at 4 o'clock. There's been a secret motion from the Attorney General's office to postpone a hearing on Zach Scrivener. We'll delve into that. And Michael Parra, the Arvin High School teacher who had sex with a student who refused to testify and wanted to take blame on herself. He learned his fate. We'll unpack that. And it's time in about 2.5 hours for Dodger baseball. Game 4 as the Dodgers go for, well, you can't really see it, but this is a broom that was brought in, not by me. But we do have a chance to sweep. Wouldn't it be great if we could sweep and then the Toronto-Seattle series goes 7? And we just sit back and rest, and we can start with the terrible trio. Our man Blake Snell in game 1, Yoshinobu Yamamoto in game 2, and Tyler Glasnow in game 3, while whoever it is, Toronto or Seattle, will be, their lineup, their rotation will be all mixed up because it'll be all hands on deck if it goes 7. That's what we're praying for if we're a Dodger fan. And again, it's Shohei Ohtani versus Jose Quintana tonight at 5:38. You're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on a finally Friday and a last chance Friday to send us some money. Show us the money for our veterans, a part of Honor Flight. Right here on Newstalk 96.1 at AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180.
What?
Casey.
Oh, shit.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, hopefully we'll be talking about the end of the government shutdown. We will talk jobs with America's Job Center of Kern. We'll do the hot list. We'll have news. We'll have traffic. We'll have weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at Newstalk 96.1 and streaming live on the World Wide Web at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Are you looking for something different to do on Halloween night? Well, then I would head to KC Steakhouse. Cassie has a party in store for you. She has a 5-course meal. She has 2 craft cocktails that goes along with the ticket, and photos with the dancers. The dancers, you ask? Yes. She has a belly dancing show that's going to go on that night. They're calling it 1001 Nights of Halloween. It starts at 6:30 on Halloween night. And where would you rather be than with the incredible staff at KC Steakhouse? And as I've talked about, nobody loves the holidays more than Cassie Biddle. She'll have that place adorned like Halloween, obviously, and it'll be a fun night. Call in today at 322-9910, RSVP at 322-9910. KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsors, The Ralph Bailey Show.
King Door Company continues to set the standard in the garage door industry, and I'm here to tell you a few of the reasons why. First off, King Door carries Clopay garage panels and LiftMaster openers, so you're guaranteed quality and reliability well beyond the reach of most garage door companies, and it just gets better from there. King Door has a fleet of fully stocked service trucks with all the parts and tools to handle any job quickly and efficiently, and those trucks are manned by the most knowledgeable technicians anywhere. They have all the technical expertise imaginable and the most up-to-the-minute training available. In fact, King Door is so committed to training that they have the King Door Academy, a full-size, state-of-the-art classroom right on the premises with all the latest teaching aids, including working garage doors to simulate any installation, repair, or technique. Your garage door is a very important part of the safety, security, and look of your home. So don't trust it to anyone but King Door Company. Call them today at 397-2744. Stop by the showroom at 7450 District Boulevard, or check them out online at kingdoor.com. King Door Company, your company with the pride of a lion.
The annual enrollment period for Medicare is here. That means that it is time for you to select your Medicare plan for 2026. This annual enrollment period, choose a name you already trust. Select Kern Family Healthcare Medicare D-SNP, a new option for people who have both Medicare and Medi-Cal. For over 29 years, Kern Family Healthcare has been a trusted name in Medi-Cal. Now, we're here to support your Medicare journey too. Call 1-866-661-3767. Again, that's 1-866-661-3767. Or visit www.kernfamilyhealthcare.com/Medicare to learn more and enroll. Start your Medicare journey with local care you trust. Choose Kern Family Healthcare. Kern Family Healthcare Medicare is an HMO D-SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the California Medicaid program. Enrollment in Kern Family Healthcare Medicare HMO D-SNP depends on contract renewal.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
That you keep on bothering me. Tell you how I feel. What you give and got the best in me. 842-537-6842-KERN. So again, Donald Trump sat down with Vladimir Zelensky today in the White House. Do you know that Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend, who's a reporter and was the first to allude to that infamous meeting between Zelensky and Trump about his attire, brought it up in the second meeting and brought it up again today? The fact that Zelensky wore a jacket, and it could only be Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm beginning to agree with a lot of things that Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying, and I do believe in terms of the shutdown, she's right about extending the ACA subsidies, and I think that's going to get done because, and in very short order, somehow, some way. In fact, Senator John Thune has all but said that they're willing to at least talk about that now. And if the Democrats are serious, which I don't think they are, I think this is just an excuse for them to close the government. Because the rumor is around D.C., and I know this because I was recently there about 48 hours ago, that there is a No Kings rally going on all over the country this Saturday. And the talk around the campfire inside the Beltway is Democrats wanted to hold off on closing the government till after this mass protest going on around the country. It wouldn't look so nice if the Democrats had capitulated prior to this, we hate Trump, we hate whatever, boop, 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 boop. And I believe that. I really do. I really do. This thing, it's like the Ukrainian war. This thing could come to an end as soon as Vladimir Putin says it ends. And the shutdown could come to an end as soon as Chuck Schumer says it's over. And we've got 5 or 6 Democrats that'll go along for the clean CR that's on the table, same amount of numbers that were involved with Joe Biden. But the Democrats, the Schumer shutdown continues. And I really believe that this rally that they are pumping up on Saturday is part of the reason. Meantime, the escalation of the situation in Ukraine is possibly about to ramp up. Donald Trump talked about, for the very first time, providing long-range Tomahawk missiles to the Ukrainians. I think he's handling this brilliantly. The national media, which of course has just absolutely are deranged over Donald Trump, are putting this as he's being ambiguous and he's teasing it and flirting with it, but he's not really saying, of course not. I don't know if you're aware of this, but when you're in war, you don't chronicle what you're about to do. You don't detail your next move, your next message. That's idiotic. It is brilliant of him to talk to Putin the night before he talks to Zelensky and say, hey, dude, you've played me. You have extended this thing, because the reality is Putin does not want peace. He wants Ukraine, which is a door to Western Europe, if you ask me. And I think this is an absolute replication of World War II, where the English believed that they could, quote, do business with Mr. Hitler, who vowed never to go into Poland, never to go into Czechoslovakia. And as we've always alluded to, the next thing you know, they were goose stepping down the middle of Paris. And I think that's exactly what I'm not trying to insist that Russian troops are going to occupy France, but I think there are some former Russian satellites that Vladimir Putin wants back in the umbrella of the Russians. I think he wants to put the former USSR back together again. He wants to put the band back together again. He wants to be considered in the light of a Lenin or a Stalin, and he believes, in my opinion, that that would do that. Talking about the missiles was the president earlier today. Here's what he had to say, just in part.
I think we're going to get it done, and we have to make it long-lasting. As I said in the Middle East, everlasting, right? Everlasting. And the Middle East is a much more complicated situation. You know, we had 59 countries involved, and every one of them agreed. And it's, you know, it's sort of amazing. Most people didn't think that was doable. This is going to be something I really believe that's going to get done. I had a very good talk yesterday with President Putin. I think he wants to get it done.
I don't believe that. And I hope the president doesn't firmly believe that, because I just don't think he wants peace. I think he's playing the long game. I think he believes deep in his just retarded mind that the longer this goes on, the better it plays for Russia. That America will grow tired, Western Europe will grow tired, and he can use Russian citizens as fodder for his grand design. In other words, the body count, which is over 1 million, 1 million Russians have died occupying 20% of Ukraine. Imagine what the number of casualties will be if he, in fact, goes after the other 80%. Well, it doesn't matter. When you're a despot, when you're a true tyrant, as they try to call Trump, but when you are really a tyrant, you can kill off 1 million of your fellow citizens to follow your dreams. Here's more from the president.
We're going to be talking about that. That's why we're here. Okay? Fair question. Exactly as he told you to say it. But we're going to be talking about it. Okay? Yeah, please.
What is your message to India and Hungary, who is still refusing?
You said India and Hungary? That's an interesting.
And Hungary.
India and Hungary. It's an interesting combination.
Refuse to stop buying Russian oil.
Well, India is not going to be buying Russian oil anymore. And Hungary is sort of stuck because they have one pipeline that's been there for years and years and years, and they're inland. They don't have sea. They don't have sea. And I spoke with the very great leader of Hungary, and they are, you know, it's very hard for them to get oil. I understand it. Hungary's in a very interesting position because they can't have ports. You know, they're surrounded by land. So we'll see what happens.
The meeting, that I haven't even alluded to yet, alleged meeting that's going to occur between Putin and the president is going to occur, allegedly, nothing's in stone, in Budapest, hence the allusion to Hungary. Meantime, the president said essentially, why isn't Zelensky involved in these meetings? Why isn't it a trilateral meeting? Well, he said, as Ali said on his way to Zaire, we're going to get it on because we don't get along.
The war in the Middle East was far more complicated. We got that one done. And I think we have a good chance. I think President Zelensky wants it done, and I think President Putin wants it done. Now all they have to do is get along a little bit.
All they got to do is get along a little bit. Well, we'll see about that, because I don't think you're ever going to see those two in the same room. I think that Vladimir Putin looks at Zelensky as a comic, which he once was prior to being the leader of Ukraine. It's like Bob Hope becoming the president of the United States. And I don't think he believes that Zelensky is on his level and would ever, even if the peace is negotiated, I don't see those two being in the same room. I just don't. And like I said, maybe I'm just the pessimistic Pete, but I don't think Vladimir Putin wants peace. I think he's playing the long game. And I just pray and hope that this administration is aware of that. I think, in fact, there was a question posed to the president, and he conceded the fact that, yeah, to a certain degree, I've been played, but now I've learned and things are going to change. And that could involve either the Tomahawk missiles or that could involve further sanctions. You heard him allude to India not accepting Russian oil. That's one of the things that the president wants to do to get some of these other countries, even Western European countries that are supposedly fighting this war, accepting Russian oil and keeping a very, very weak Russian economy alive. But I don't think he wants peace. I just don't think he wants peace. We take a massive pivot and talk entertainment with KGET 17 entertainment reporter Rick Bentley. Then at the top of the hour, talking sports, college football, and NFL ball with Brandon Lang. I would stick around if I you.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Hey. Is it 3:30? It is 3:30. Come on in. I thought it was 3:15. I'm walking.
Peters in
Yes,
Washington.
indeed. I'm talking.
Israel has received the coffin of a missing hostage handed over to the Red Cross from Hamas. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said Friday the Israeli military and security forces received the coffin inside the Gaza Strip, and it was to be transferred to Israel and the Ministry of Health's National Center for Forensic Medicine. The U.S. has seized survivors after a strike on a suspected drug-carrying vessel in the Caribbean, the first since President Trump began launching deadly attacks in the region this summer. That's according to a defense official and another person familiar with the matter. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 238 points, the Nasdaq rose 117, the S&P advanced 35. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm John Shearer. 5 people were arrested for illegal marijuana growing. The Kern County Sheriff's Office reports that nearly 3,000 marijuana plants and just over 2,500 pounds of processed marijuana were seized. Search warrants were served and the seizures were made in Taft and Maricopa by deputies with assistance from the Kern County Sheriff's High Intensity Drug Traffic Force in conjunction with agents from Fish and Game Wildlife. A reminder that a Houchin Community Blood Bank football ticket promotion ends tomorrow. All blood donors who make successful donations will receive 2 general admission tickets, good for any Bakersfield College Renegades home game. The promotion is valid at all donation centers and mobile drives. I'm John Shearer in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
When your business technology breaks down, you need help fast, and you need it from the people who understand your local market. That's one of the main reasons we've teamed up with Adaptive Networks, because we have a unique business. Because when our IT goes down, you hear nothing, dead air, and we're dead. Adaptive Networks isn't some faceless call center in another state. They're right here in our community, with local technicians who know Kern County businesses inside and out. And while other IT companies make you wait hours or even days for support, we just can't afford that. Adaptive Networks delivers lightning fast response times. We're talking minutes, not hours, because when your systems are down, every minute counts. Their team doesn't just fix your problem quickly. They treat you like the neighbor you are. Real people, real solutions, real results. Call Adaptive Networks today, 661-241-0638, or visit adaptive-net.com. Adaptive Networks, your local IT experts, always here when you need them.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans
because they have medics that are on board and they took care of it. Deanna Salyers.
Tomorrow.
But he
The
went
Medicare
through some
annual
oxygen.
enrollment
And
period ends December 7th. So go to uhc.com
Exactly.
/Medicare today.
And that's why I brought it
United
up,
Healthcare
because I'm
Medicare
sure
plans.
that's a
It's
fear
Medicare coverage
of a lot of the
California
people.
can
You know,
count
what
on.
happens to grandpa
Monday's
if
Armstrong
something
and Getty show.
goes
I guarantee
wrong?
there'll be news
And I wanted to make the point
Zelensky and Putin,
that
and Hamas has been given a lot
Honor
of
Flight is
ultimatums.
more
Are
than
we at war
prepared
with Venezuela
to
yet?
handle it.
And
Because
the
this is not
suburban
the first
dad
time
who
this has
calls
happened.
plays for
It's not even the
100
first time
different
it's
college
happened
football teams
with
every
me
Saturday.
being on the
Really
trip. There's another
interesting story.
gentleman
Plus, we'll hit the
took ill
news
as
of
well.
the day for you. That is what we do around here on the next Armstrong and Getty show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News
Exactly.
Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm JR Flores. Catch
No,
my
totally
show,
got it.
The JR
And-
Show,
and volunteers.
weekdays at 2
Isn't that
p.m.
incredible?
Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
And it does feel good. The weekend has finally arrived. Of course, KGTN tail reporter Rick Bentley is live in studio. How are you, sir?
I'm alive and I'm in the studio.
Alive and well. That's good to hear.
I didn't say well.
No, you're not
yes,
well. You look well.
Well, thank you.
You look well on television today. I saw you with Lauren Holcomb this afternoon.
Yeah. So, hey, look, I figure every day I get up, put my feet on the ground. That's well.
You damn skippy.
Everything else is gravy. After that. So.
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
What are we discussing? Are we discussing what you talked about with Miss Holcomb?
Before we get started,
Yes.
I just want. I've been known to bust your chops occasionally.
I love it. I love it.
But I do want to say I admire what you're doing with the honor flight.
Thank you, sir.
I think if each of us even did a tenth of what you did to honor our veterans, it's to be a much better country.
Thank you.
And I don't say that from any political standpoint. These are people, men and women, who deserve our respect and our support. And so I don't care what your political party is. If you can't get behind our veterans, there's something wrong.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I want to let you know.
I appreciate that.
I pick on you. That's one thing I admire you for.
I appreciate that.
That's probably the only thing I admire you for. But
That's enough.
I digress.
That's enough. A lot of people are involved. A lot of people work much harder than I, and it is an outstanding organization that does some amazing work. It really is.
Yeah. And so the more we can shine a light on them, as you do all the time, I think the better.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what do you got today?
You know, I could talk about it. The new Keanu Reeves movie. It's good. I'm done.
The Good Fortune.
Yes, it's a good movie.
Yeah. As Ms. Holcomb pointed out, that is rare for you these days.
I know. I just seen two really horrific movies, and so maybe it was just that I was ready. Anything, you
were due.
I could have seen an Adam Sandler retrospective and went, well, it's not too bad.
Well, don't go too far now.
Well, yeah, I probably went too far.
I'm not an Adam Sandler. Although, Chris, you're a big Adam Sandler guy, aren't you?
I do enjoy Adam Sandler, yes.
Well,
Youth is wasted on the young.
It is. Yeah. So yeah, I like the movie. I hate to use the same, mention in the same breath with It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
But as I've said before, in A Wonderful Life, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Yeah.
In this movie, every time a food delivery driver gets a good review, an angel gets his wings. So that's but it's a sweet movie. He's good in it.
I love angel movies.
Yeah,
There are two. I love angel movies, and I love, surprisingly, Satan movies.
Well, that's a good balance.
Yeah.
And if you get both, you've got the Ten Commandments.
That took me a second, but that was fine. That's a base set up the middle.
Yeah. And I do like this movie. In fact, that I never realized that there was a hierarchy for angels.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Apparently, there are angels who.
Well, you saw it's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, but
it was a hierarchy.
Yeah,
Clarence had to earn those wings, Jack.
Yeah, but this really has it set it up like there are angels that save souls. There are angels that inspire.
Oh, they're genres.
Yeah, and they go down and down. And Keanu's angel is one whose job is to keep people from dying while texting and driving. That's his job.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Yeah, that's the hierarchy where he's.
Is that where we are in the 21st century?
Well,
that we need an angel to protect these idiots that don't know not to text while they drive.
He stays pretty busy in the film, but he wants to do more.
Wow.
And that's when he sees a guy who's really given up on life. He's lost his job, his car, everything, and is ready to give up his life. And he says, "Well, look, I'm going to show you that, just because somebody has money, that doesn't mean they're going to be happy. So he switches lives with a guy who's rich and famous. Well, when he gets in that life, he goes, it did cure all my problems. I have no worries anymore.
That's why I looked at the camera when you said that money doesn't solve all problems. I was like, yeah, but it damn sure. You know what money is important for in times of trouble?
Yeah.
That's when you have health issues or you got a friend in need or a family member.
Right.
Money can smooth over problems.
Money.
Yeah. Money can smooth over problems. But other than that, you're right. Your happiness, that comes from your character.
Who takes over the new life, doesn't want to give it up. The rest of the film is there the angel trying to figure out how to fix this mess.
Yeah.
It's a sweet movie.
And Keanu is the angel.
Keanu's the angel. He's channeling a little bit of Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Really?
Yeah, because his angel's not the brightest halo in the sky. Okay, let's just say that.
Kind of like Clarence.
So anyway, it's a sweet film, and if you're just looking for a nice date movie, I have no problem recommending it. It got a B for me.
What is your? Oh, it got a B.
Yeah,
above average. What is your favorite angel movie?
Favorite angel? Well, we've already talked about It's a Wonderful Life.
There's one more, a really good one. Do you want me to give you a clue?
Well,
I'll give you a clue if you want. Cary Grant.
Yeah, I should know this one.
You've never seen The Bishop's Wife?
The Bishop's Wife. Okay.
Which was redone with Denzel as the.
And that's what I was trying. Yeah.
Denzel plays that part, and Whitney Houston is in that. I still think the one with Cary Grant is
There's
better.
another angel movie. I'm trying to remember who starred in it because they all seem to start in Los Angeles with somebody standing on top of a tall building. But anyway.
Well, there's the baseball film,
Angels
in the Outfield.
Yeah.
The original with Paul. I can't remember his name as a character actor who died young in the 50s. And then there's the one with Tony Danza in like the late 20th century. Yeah. That's a pretty good film.
Yeah.
And Danny Glover. Huh?
Paul Douglas.
Paul Douglas plays the manager in the original. Yeah. And then Tony Danza and Glover is in the remake.
So, yeah. But sadly, there have been more more Satan movies than angel movies.
Isn't that true?
Well,
isn't that weird?
Satan's one of the top 5 characters portrayed in film.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's an easy bad guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a pretty good bad guy too.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, well, how do we define evil? It's Satan. Okay. I think you
get the president of the club.
Look up the words evil in the dictionary, and you'll see Satan smiling.
Yeah. All right, I got to ask you that. What's your favorite devil movie?
It's one I think with Al Pacino and
Keanu Reeves.
And
what was that, Chris?
Devil's Advocate?
Yes.
Yeah, Devil's Advocate.
That was pretty good. I didn't like the ending.
Devil Wears Prada, but that's not the same thing.
Yeah. I didn't like the ending.
Yeah.
Because it just means that it kind of just keeps repeating itself, right?
Yeah.
Based on that ending.
Yeah. That's the one where he plays the lawyer, right? He freaks out saying, I win, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, and then he commits suicide at the end, but then that just regenerates the whole process.
Because there's time when I listen to your show and I can't decide if it's a sports show or a political show.
It is both.
I'm going to mention a sports movie.
Yes.
Damn Yankees.
I was going to say that. With Ray Walston, the original.
Right.
Whatever Lola wants.
Gwen Verdon.
Lola gets. Yeah. And Lola wants you. Wasn't that Rita Moreno that played that part?
Gwen Verdon.
In the movie?
Yeah.
It wasn't Rita Moreno? Okay. Somehow. But yeah, that's a great picture.
Yeah. So
Damn Yankees.
I think that's a good devil movie.
Tab Hunter plays in that, correct?
I think he's the Joe.
Yeah.
It's
Joe something that wants to play center field for the Yankees.
Yeah. When he becomes younger.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Good picks.
But anyway.
What else you got?
Well, we haven't done a quiz in a while.
Ah, you know how I love the quizzes.
And so I thought, let's do a quiz. So we're going to start because we've discussed this is both a sports/political show.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start with a TV sports question.
All right.
Which TV character was named for a famous Dodger announcer?
Which TV character was named after a Dodger announcer? Well, it would have to be something involved with Mr. Scully. What? What do you want me to do?
Turn it up just a little bit more.
Over here?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
But I can't come up with the character.
The X-Files.
Oh, I'm not an X-Files guy.
Oh, Dana Scully from the X-Files.
Oh,
I would have also accepted.
Yes, Jerry Doggett.
That's a good one. But also, I would have accepted Scully from MASH, Sergeant Scully.
Who was Sergeant Scully?
He was a
MASH?
recurring character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I was a big MASH guy.
Well,
I don't remember Sergeant.
next time
Scully.
you hear somebody talking about Sergeant Scully, that's because
What was his role in the series?
he was a sergeant.
But I mean,
He was just one of those. If we need somebody to be in the mechanics bay or something, but yeah, he was a very peripheral character. But he was,
and I can recite episodes and dialogue from the first 4 years.
Next time you watch a MASH, you'll go, oh,
okay,
that's.
I'll take your word.
What was the original name of the show? Of Seinfeld. What was the original name of that show?
Oh, I know this. What the theme of the show was supposed to be about. Something about nothing or something like that. No?
No.
Then why? Then you got me.
It was originally called the Seinfeld Chronicles.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm here. That's right. All right. We're going to go to Knight Rider.
You got me.
You don't know what kind of car was used for Kit the car?
Some kind of Camaro. Yeah, no, the last talking car show I watched was
My Mother
the Car with Jerry Van Dyke.
And that was a Model T, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Kit was a 1982 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am.
Oh, a Trans Am. I should have known that.
Yeah. Okay. What was the medical show that the entire show was actually set in a kid's brain, in a child's mind, imagination?
Help a brother.
You got me on this one.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea.
St. Elsewhere.
Really?
Last episode, they show a kid, they pan out and it's the hospital, and there's a kid playing with a snow globe. And so apparently all that seasons were in his brain.
Get out of here.
Hey, no, what? Okay.
And that's another Denzel series.
Yeah.
Wasn't Denzel on that for a while?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Howie Mandel.
That's right. I never got it.
Yeah, well.
And I'm into medical shows. I loved ER.
Okay. Let's see if I can throw some softballs at you.
Okay. Thank you. I need them.
Did you ever watch game shows?
Oh, I was a huge game show guy.
What game show had contestants yelling, no money, big money, no Emmys, no whammies?
I wasn't that deep of a game show guy. You got any help there, Burdick?
I will give you a clue.
Wheel of Fortune? No, not Wheel of Fortune.
They have redone it. There's a brand new version on as we speak. Well, not at this time, but on the.
I've heard that before, but I don't know exactly what it is.
You got me.
Press your luck.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I've never watched these shows.
All right. The Simpsons? Anything with that? Okay, we're just going to.
I got that one.
He's got that one.
Okay. What show did it originate on?
Oh, never mind. I don't know that one. I know. I
throw the softball up and then you see it hit the ground. That is a depressing time.
I thought it was going to have something about the show itself.
It was the Tracy Ullman show.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Live and learn.
Okay. This is going to be the softest softball I've ever thrown in my life.
And I'm going to drop it.
What is the name of the bar on Cheers?
Cheers.
Yes. Okay, you got that one right.
Thank you.
All right, another softball. What was Steve Urkel's famous catchphrase on Family Matters?
Did I do that?
That's right.
And I didn't even watch. Thank you. And I didn't even watch the show.
Yeah, but
I knew that.
That was just iconic.
I mean, that's like growing up in the 70s and not knowing what you talk about, Willis.
Exactly.
And I hated that show.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? Yes. That was part of a presidential campaign.
It was, right.
Yeah.
Hey, what were the name of the two detectives on Miami Vice?
Crockett and Davy. No, get it, David Crockett. Why are you pregnant all of a sudden? He's pregnant. Crockett and
Tubbs.
Can y'all see what he did? Yeah, you can see what he did. But I was thinking pregnant when you did that. Tubbs. That's
Crockett
funny.
and 9 months.
6 years ago, you could have just pointed at me and just said Tubbs.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, since you did so well in the catchphrase category,
Thank you.
what was the famous catchphrase from the A-Team?
I got this. I love it when a plan comes together.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Another show that I didn't really watch.
Yeah, but all right, this one's hard, but I'll give you a couple of guesses.
Okay, very good.
What year did Jeopardy start?
Ooh.
And I'll give you bonus points if you know who the original host was.
Art Fleming was the original host. No?
Nope.
Is it not Art something?
Nope.
Oh, then I have no idea. I will guess it's got to be 65.
84.
84?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I thought it was older than that.
And Alex was the original host.
No, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
No. You need to do no.
All right,
no.
well, I'll look at it.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That is. I
found
know
that-
for funny. It was that old man. Hey Siri, who was the original host of Jeopardy?
Art
Fleming.
Was Art Fleming.
Okay.
Just saying.
I stand
Just
corrected.
saying.
Okay.
I got to come and straighten up the entertainment guy.
Right.
You know these TV people come in here with this misinformation, and you got to just straighten them up just every now and again.
Okay, then let's go back to hard questions.
Yeah, now I'm questioning any of the veracity of any of those questions. I think I got them all right.
Yeah, probably so. I literally did this at 5 this morning, so I don't even know what I'm writing here. So, okay, what year did MTV start?
Ooh, now this I should know. I lived through it. Like 89?
81.
Ooh, I wouldn't have thought that early. I was in college. I didn't have a TV.
I know this had to be one of your favorite shows. What city was the Golden Girls set?
Somewhere in Florida.
I'll give you that one.
Okay.
Miami.
Is that? Oh, I was going to guess Miami. I really was. I was going to say Orlando or Miami.
Do you know the name of Angela Lansbury's character on Murder, She Wrote?
No.
Jessica Fletcher.
I played golf with
Jessica Fletcher?
No, not with Jessica Fletcher, and not with Angela Lansbury, but with the sheriff, Ron Mazak, I think was his name.
Ron Mazak.
I played golf with him. And he told me that when I smiled, because my eyes squint when I smile. Oh, no, I'm about to lie. It was not Ron Mazak. It's an even better story. Played with Ron Mazak and Don Newcomb.
Oh.
Who is sitting here. I haven't put up my bobbleheads.
Yeah.
But it's sitting right over there. And it was Don Newcomb who told me, I swear to God, my father's greatest true story, that when I smiled, because my eyes squint when I smile,
Right.
that I look like Willie Mays.
Okay.
Well, let's realize this. Mr. Newcomb was in the latter part of his life at that
Probably had
point.
some cataracts.
But yeah, isn't that amazing? I've never thought about that until you mentioned that. That I played golf with Don Newcomb.
Yeah.
It's amazing back in the day when they used to have the cancer tournament
Yeah.
at Seven Oaks.
You know, I thought at a thrift store, I found a program from that, and it had like 15 autographs. Somebody got autographs of all, and I think Don Newcomb is one of those.
Yeah, it was an amazing tournament.
Yeah, it was.
You got to play a foursome, and then the celebrity was the fifth player.
Okay.
It was you played a fivesome, and then they started inviting LPGA players to play.
Oh.
And I won once with a bunch of guys much better than I, a really good group of guys that don't live here anymore. And we shot like 20 under par.
Wow.
On an 18-hole course at Seven Oaks. And the female professional was really like the third or fourth best player on our team.
Wow.
Yeah. Those were back in the
So
day.
when you do that, did she tee off from the short? Or
Ooh, that's a good question.
I
think she did tee off from the Reds.
Okay.
I think she
So
did.
even with that,
Yeah.
she was not the best in the group.
No, she wasn't.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's totally different today. Today, the LPGA is so much
Oh,
better than
yeah,
it was back
yeah.
in the. This is
Yeah,
we're talking early 90s.
They are cranky.
Yeah. Yeah, these young girls are hitting at 270, 280 yards now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go head to head with one.
Yeah.
Even if I could play golf.
You know who is a great female golfer and who's I think going to be on the LPGA tour?
Oh, who?
The president's granddaughter.
Oh,
Donald Jr.'s daughter.
I just saw she had shot a TikTok with her grandfather.
Where she played with him.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah,
She asks him questions.
Yeah, and she may not have wanted to show a lot of that footage because his game must have been off that day a little bit.
Yeah, there were a couple of shots that they kind of like, they didn't edit it, but they didn't really show. But as a golfer, I knew that was, you can tell by somebody's swing and by the contact of the ball, whether it's a good shot or not.
Yep.
And I was like, ooh,
that is not going.
That was ugly.
Yeah. But it was a hole in one. So that's that's the good thing about it.
And there's one, and this is common among presidents. Clinton apparently was the worst of this, but there's one where he has like a 6-foot putt.
Oh yeah,
and he just picks it up and walks.
That's a gimme.
That's a gimme.
That's a gimme.
That's a gimme.
Yeah, I used to ask for gimmies right off the tee. It's like, can I just take a four?
Yeah, let me put a four down.
Put down, and that doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know how much more time we have, but
You got a couple minutes.
Diane Keaton passed.
Yeah, I saw that. We were back in DC when that happened.
Yeah, and I
think before
imagine you with your love of Godfather.
You know what's funny? I don't know. I think I heard Scott. I think that was the morning we were leaving, and I heard Scott say that when he heard the death of Diane Keaton, that was the first character that he thought of. And for me, it wasn't. Despite my obsession with The Godfather, it really wasn't. And she's unbelievable in Godfather 2. She is much better in Godfather 2. And I've seen interviews with both of Al Pacino and Diane Keaton, and where they've discussed the slap.
Oh,
it is hard to watch. And they both said, you know, Diane told me, don't hold back. We got to make this thing look good, and let's not screw it up because I don't want to do it a second time. And I was like, all right, let's get this right. And I mean, he slaps the taste out of her mouth.
Yeah,
that's a really dynamic where she tells, for the so-called Godfather fans that may not remember, Diane Keaton comes and tells Al Pacino that she didn't lose the baby, she had an abortion. And as a Catholic Italian back in the 50s, and a mafioso on top of it, that was unacceptable.
Yeah, slack it.
That's when you know.
That was about as safe as she got.
Yeah,
it couldn't have been much worse.
And there's a great story about Puzo and Coppola disagreeing on how that should have been handled.
Oh, really?
Coppola, I believe, wanted just to have her have a miscarriage.
Oh.
Puzo wanted to have it be abortion because he knew that would make the relationships absolutely, irreplaceable.
You're not going to repair that.
Irreparable.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, but I think of Annie Hall. That's
exactly. That's what I thank you for getting back to our point.
Yeah,
that's what I think of.
Yeah,
I thought of Goodbye, Mr. Chips, which was a disturbing movie.
Yeah,
where she plays this young girl looking for love. She meets Richard Gere, and he ends up killing her at the end of the film.
Yeah,
those are things.
Manhattan. I think of Manhattan,
where she kills it. That's my favorite Woody Allen picture.
Yeah, and I do feel like those films she made with Woody Allen were some of her best.
Yes.
I was thinking about doing a top 10, and as I began to look into her top 10, she did a lot of really bad movies.
Yeah, she did.
A lot of those book club things, and and fine, actors need to act, you got to pay the bills and everything. But when you've done such things like Annie Hall and Godfather 2 and Manhattan, and I mean, then you see them in these sort of wasted talent type thing. So, but to me, I think that her death was a major surprise.
Yeah, it was.
Often we hear,
and she was 79 years old.
Yeah, I
mean, she lived a long life. I hope I get to 79, Jack.
Yeah, I hope I get to 73. So I'm not going to push it. But it's like if Bruce Willis passes, we know he's been sick.
Yeah.
That won't come as a shocker.
Right.
But there was just never any word, even and in this day of social media and TMZ and everything, you think somebody would have leaked that out.
And she died of pneumonia, of all things.
Yeah, which is, in this day and age, it seems a little strange.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, and then Ace Frehley died.
Who?
from KISS, Ace Frehley.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he passed
Why
away.
don't I know that?
I'm not keeping it from you. This wasn't a secret.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And then I saw something today that it's shocking to me that she's still alive, that Bridget Bardot has been taken to the hospital.
Oh, one of the great sex symbols in motion picture history.
Talk about
To me, it's her, Sophia Loren,
yeah.
and Raquel Welch. Forget about everybody else.
Yeah. One of the happy moments of my life, we'll just say that,
What?
is I sat at a restaurant,
What?
a Mexican restaurant,
What?
with Raquel Welch
What?
in the seat right next to me.
Get out of here.
Yeah. It was, and again, I grew up with 1 Million Years BC.
Yes.
And Annie Coulter.
The roller derby.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And 100 Rifles with Jim Brown.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Did
Which
you
is a
speak to
great
her?
one. Oh, I did an interview. That's why I was there.
Oh, you interviewed? You didn't say that. You just said you were sitting next to her. You interviewed her?
Hey, if you ever come to my house, you can see the autograph she signed.
I'll be there tomorrow.
But she was, the only thing that sticks in my mind about it is it still gorgeous, but I noticed that she'd pinned her blouse. And I thought that was the weirdest thing. That, that why didn't somebody, if you wanted to take it in,
Right.
why not stitch it? Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know why that's stuck in my brain.
I don't either. Raquel Welch, and that's what he walks away with. Rick Bentley, everybody. Brandon Lang is next.
That was great. That was great.
This is AM 1180 KERN.
So it's worth seeing, or should I wait until it comes to
96.1
HBO?
FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. John Bolton, Donald Trump's former national security advisor, has pleaded not guilty to charges of mishandling classified information.
Inside the courtroom, Bolton did not speak except to answer basic questions from the judge. Now, this indictment has a lot of details. For one thing, it accuses him of having shared with his wife and his daughter lots of classified information in the form of diary-like notes about his time in government. It also includes a really interesting anecdote that his email account was hacked by an operative linked to the Iranian regime. It says that a representative for Bolton in 2021 told the FBI about the hack, but did not reveal that his email account contained classified information.
Correspondent Eric Tucker reporting. President Trump seems to be backing away from the idea of selling long-range missiles to Ukraine for its war against Russia. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
Ukrainian President Zelensky used a White House visit to request Tomahawk missiles from the U.S., but President Trump sounded hesitant.
It's not easy for us to give. You're talking about massive numbers of very powerful weapons.
Zelensky told the president that the Gaza peace deal could carry over to the Russia-Ukraine war.
You did it, and I think this is a momentum to finish Russia's war against Ukraine.
Before the Zelensky meeting, Donald Trump announced he would soon meet with Russia's Vladimir Putin in Hungary. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The U.S. has seized survivors after a strike on a suspected drug-carrying vessel in the Caribbean, the first since President Trump began launching deadly strikes in the region this summer. That's according to a defense official and another person familiar with the matter. It's believed to be at least the sixth strike since August. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 238 points. The Nasdaq rose 117. More at townhall.com.
Maybe this is you too. People are enormously frustrated with the cost of healthcare right now. There is an option. Hundreds of thousands of people have gone with MediShare. They like it more, and they're saving a lot of money. Perfect time for you to join, too. Apply before October 31st, and they will waive your application fee. That's $100 you'll be saving right off the bat, in addition to the thousands you can save every year. Call them now. Here's the number, 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. MediShare is a community of Christians who've shared more than $9 billion in medical bills. It has worked beautifully for decades. And with so many people re-examining their options right now, seeing premiums going up and up, this is a great time to take advantage of this offer. Just tell them the promo code SHARE and save $100 before October 31st. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE, 844-41-BIBLE.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm John Shearer. 5 people were arrested for illegal marijuana growing. The Kern County Sheriff's Office reports that nearly 3,000 marijuana plants and just over 2,500 pounds of processed marijuana were seized. Search warrants were served and the seizures were made in Taft and Maricopa by deputies with assistance from the Kern County Sheriff's High Intensity Drug Trafficking Force in conjunction with agents from Fish and Game Wildlife. The Bakersfield Police Department released crime statistics from September. The report shows nearly 59,000 calls came into the Bakersfield Police Department Communications Center during the month, and almost 22,000 of those were 911 calls. The police department reports they received 4 calls regarding homicides, 148 regarding vehicle thefts, 116 burglary calls, and 111 aggravated assault complaints. The National Rifle Association and several other groups filed a lawsuit challenging California's Glock ban. Last Friday, Governor Newsom signed into law a bill that prohibits the sale or transfer of Glock and Glock-style handguns. The lawsuit argues that the ban on these handguns violates the Second Amendment. A hearing for a mental health diversion motion for former Kern County Supervisor Zach Scrivener was delayed until mid-December. Scrivener is facing 5 felony accusations. If the motion is granted, it could lead to no jail time for Scrivener. If area retailers follow an apparent national trend, seasonal temporary hiring may be down for the upcoming holiday season. Placement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas forecast overall holiday retail hiring this year could fall to its lowest point since the recession hit season of 2009. However, the firm acknowledges that only a handful of companies have made public commitments regarding holiday staffing, and it appears to be a wait-and-see situation. I'm John Shearer in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You gotta get up close like this. Bada bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Friday. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at KERNradio.com. We still got lots to do before it's time for Dodger baseball. We'll get into why the Attorney General's office has a secret motion postponing Zach Scrivener's hearing. It goes back to December 15th. We'll unpack that. The Arvin High School teacher who had sex with his school student learned his fate. Tell you about that. And don't forget, it is our final day of fundraising for Honor Flight. You can use the QR code. Many of them located at Sully's, at KC Steakhouse, and all Salty's barbecue locations, or you can just call the show 842-5376, 842-KERN. And again, while I have the opportunity, just again, I want to thank all of you that participated and helped us fundraise yesterday. Excuse me. Right now, we're at around 34. So what do you got, Chris?
31. We're 31.4.
31.4. So I would guesstimate the hard number at the end of the day would be about $34,000. Not one of our finer years, but it's still going to, it's going to send about 20 veterans back to Washington.
That was actually a question by myself and JR. How much is it to send one veteran back?
$1,500, $1,500
That sounded about right.
to be a guardian and to send a veteran back. And that's Vince Fong, Congressman Fong supported one. I mentioned at the top of the show, Teresa Goldner, our Tuesday regular, sponsored a veteran. So please help us continue to raise money for Honor Flight. In the meantime, speaking of flights, we're on our way to New York. Yeah, we were just talking about Miami Vice. And would this not have been a song on Miami Vice? Brandon Lang going old school, man, going back to the 80s, Jackson. What's really going on?
He's driving in the car with Tubbs. They're driving on the lights of Miami. They're loading their guns. They're going to take down something. It could get serious. He could die. Stops at the payphone, calls his ex-wife, and says, Carla, I just got to ask you a question. Sonny, is everything okay? This song's playing in the background. And he goes, what we had, was it real? And she pauses and she goes, yeah, Sonny, it was real. And he just hangs up the phone. Tubbs is loading his gun. I was such a big fan of that show, and I'm going to tell you a story about that show.
All right, and
I was a huge fan of the show.
This is so hilarious, dude. You don't know. We just had our entertainment reporter, and he does quizzes every now and again, and he quizzed me about that show just like 15 minutes ago.
Oh, I'd have killed it.
Yeah, you would.
So I'm a huge fan of the show. Like could not wait for the next episode. And Scott Shepard, who I caddied for at Riviera when I was trying to network the movie deal, was a writer on the show, and he had some great stories about the show. And then, as fate would have it, probably circa 2002, I caddied for Don Johnson, and he's so cool. Like he's so cool. And let me tell you something. He was tan. He was a good-looking dude, man. I mean, I'm not. Again, I'm as heterosexual as it gets. But I can still admire guys that are good looking.
Sure,
he's just a stud.
Pretty
Go
boy
out there, and one thing you'll learn about me on a golf course: a very playful personality, not afraid to say stuff. And so on the 16th hole, I go, hey, come here. I said, you got to tell me. I've waited 16 holes. It's just me and him off to the side, and we're waiting for the group on the 16 par 3 to finish. So we had like 5 minutes. I go, Don, come here. So he walks over. I said, I've been waiting 16 holes to ask you. I said, of all the runs you had, you got to tell me. You in Miami, single. I said, epic. And he goes, just like this. He goes, let me tell you something. He says, we used to have Sunday off from filming. And so when we were done filming on Saturday night, I would call the local modeling agency on Friday. And I said, we're going to have a little casting call on Saturday night. And we're looking for a couple actresses to star in next week's episode. So just send them out to audition. And he looks at me and he goes, by the end of the show, we had gone through every modeling agency in Miami. He said, it was the greatest run of my life. Now understand this. I've caddied for a boatload of celebrities, and I could come into your studio and I could do 4 hours of just confessions of a Hollywood caddy.
Right.
And I can tell you stories about my round with Tom Cruise, my round with Jack Nicholson, my round with Troy Aikman, my round with Michael Jordan, my round with President Clinton, my round with Mark Wahlberg, my round with Sylvester Stallone. Just goes on and on and on and on. And they were epic times, like just epic times. And again, you spent time around me, and I'm on radio, this over the top personality, but I'm pretty damn humble. But you get me on a golf course where if I caddy for you, I've had guys say, bro, you're the greatest caddy I've ever had in my life. I mean, I caddy on tour. I got the course record 61 at Riviera. I know what I'm doing. But then you sprinkle in the personality. It's a whole different ballgame. Last story before we get into games. I'm caddying for Joe LaCombe, owner of the Warriors, and he's playing with Craig Johnson, who's a minority owner. And I'm carrying 2 bags. And Joe's got the 73 win hat on. And so on the 9th tee box, I looked at Craig and I winked at Craig. I said, Craig, play along. He says, okay. So I walk over to Joe, hits it right down the middle. I said, great job, Joe. He said, thanks. I go, hey, Joe. I said, I said, I'm thinking about taking my wife to Napa. A little wine tasting. I was going to swing by and see a Warriors game. Do you know anybody who works for the Warriors? I don't want to go StubHub or Ticketmaster. Do you just got anybody maybe get me tickets for the Warriors? Because you never know what you're going to get with StubHub or Ticketmaster.
Right.
And he looks over at Craig, and Craig shrugs his shoulders, and he has this confused look on his face. I go, Joe, don't worry about it. I said, when I ask people to do something and they hesitate, they really deep down don't want to do it. I said, don't worry about it, Joe. I'll just go StubHub or Ticketmaster. I pick up the bags and start to walk away. Now this is the majority owner of the Warriors.
Right.
I've just playful way dissed him and literally start walking down the fairway. And he can't move. So I stop. I put the bags down. I walk back to him, put my arm around him. But you know what, Joe? Since you are the majority owner, can I maybe do courtside? He starts laughing so hard that at the end of the round, he says, Brandon, get your phone out. Take my number down. He says, if you're out there, give me a call. I'll take care of you. For my 60th birthday, he gave me 8 tickets to a private box for the Mavs and Warriors on a Sunday.
Wow.
He got me on Cypress Point, and I had the first tee time at Pebble on my birthday at 6:40, and nobody was in front of us.
Wow.
So I tell people all the time, the people I've met and the numbers that are in my phone number, and this goes back to the late, great Jim Irsay, who I caddied for at Riviera Country Club. And the first time I caddied for Jim, he has a bank bag that had probably 10 grand in it sitting in the golf cart. And when the round was over, we had a blast. I just caddied for him. And the other caddy had the 3 guests. I just caddied for him. And we had the time of our life. And when we were done, I said, I had a blast. Gave me his card to Jim Irsay, Indianapolis Colts. Said, anything you need, you let me know. I went right down to CVS, bought a thank you card, and he tipped me $1,000, which back then, late 90s, was massive.
Hell yeah.
1,000.
Hell yeah.
And I went and got a thank you card, and I said, Mr. Irsay, I've been doing this job for a long time. And for as many times as I've been stiffed, for as many times as I've been disrespected, I said, you made a lot of wrongs right today.
Nice.
I said, I can't thank you enough for your genuineness and your sincerity. Can't wait to see you in a month. Brandon Lang. Well, I sent that way. He came back and played in a month. I went down on the range, and he's hitting balls where you greet him on the range. He takes his hat off, takes his glove off, comes to me, gives me a very heartfelt hug, and says, Brandon, I've been playing a long time with caddies, and nobody's ever done that for me before. He said,
that's cool.
I can't thank you enough, and gave me a real deep hug. You know, to this day, before he passed away, I could call his secretary, Shelley, and say, hi, Shelley, it's Brandon. I caddied for Jim back at Riv. I'd get a couple tickets to the Colts. And she'd say, you got it. Whatever city they were playing in, wherever they were at, there'd be 2 tickets to Will Call for me.
Wow.
And he never, ever forgot who I was and never bothered or stopped taking care of me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guy. So again, it's amazing. Just the Miami Vice story. The people I've talked to, people I've met, it has been an epic, epic, epic run of my caddy life. And,
dude, write a book.
Well, I got 8 chapters of Confessions of Hollywood Caddying, and I just got tired. It's hard writing a book. I should finish it, but Stallone was hilarious. I gave him so much crap. I ran him. I literally gave him so much crap. That's a whole nother story about my round with Sly.
Yeah.
It was epic. It was epic because again, we're getting into games. All I'll say about this is that, and again, I don't know how I find myself in these situations. So I'm living in Manhattan Beach, caddying at Riv, working at the Spectrum Club Manhattan Beach. My trainer that I worked out with 3 days a week, he trained Jennifer Flavin the week before. That's who Sly's married to now.
Right.
And I went in to train that day. And that day happened to be the day that Stallone sent a FedEx letter from Europe where he was filming and broke up with her with a FedEx letter. Didn't even call her. He broke up with her with a FedEx letter.
Wow.
So now fast forward to when I'm caddying for him, and we're walking down the first fairway, and I go, hey, what is wrong with you? Like, who are you? And he's like, what? I go, FedEx letter? I said, I was there. I saw her that morning. I worked out with Patrick, her trainer, after she worked out with him. She's bawling. Yeah, I go, really? He goes, no. Then he wouldn't leave me alone. Then he wanted to know her. Then he wanted to know, how was she? Blah, 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 blah. And then from that point forward, I ragged him on the golf course. I rode him like Zorro. It was hysterical. I gave it to him every which way you could possibly think of. I would say to him, he'd go, what's my yardage? I go, I'm not giving a yardage. I've never met a man who loves himself as much as you. Do you look in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself that much? Then I would turn to the guys he's playing with and go, does he do this with you guys when you're at dinner? Does he pull out a mirror and look at himself? We're tired of looking at you. We're tired of looking at you. Stop asking buddy how your golf swing looks, okay? It looks the same as it did 4 holes ago, okay? We're tired. I mean, that was epic.
That is funny. You know, that's how Sinatra divorced Mia Farrow. She was doing Rosemary's Baby. She was supposed to be doing Tony Roma with him. He calls Robert Evans and says, bring my wife to my thing. And she says, dude, we're 3/4 of the way through, and she's the movie. She can't leave. The next day, one of his henchmen brought her a manila envelope on set, and it was divorce proceedings. And they had to
Probably
shut
got
down shooting Rosemary's Baby for like a day because obviously she was a mess.
Yep, that's probably
Crazy.
the idea. So,
Crazy.
all right, I'm gonna take Miami +3 over Cleveland. I don't think the Browns should be favored over anybody, and most certainly not Miami, who I think rallies the troops after that. So I'm gonna roll with Miami plus the points. I think the Jets are just that bad. I know
Yes.
Carolina hasn't been favored since Christ came back 2,000 years ago, and Moses parted the Red Sea with the staff, and took the Jews in the desert for 40 years. But I'm going to take Carolina minus the points over the Jets. I think Aaron Glenn's that bad. Since the middle of 2022, the Detroit Lions have only lost 9 games, the 9th being in Kansas City last week. Do you know what Dan Campbell's record is after a loss in his last 8 games since the middle of 2022?
Undefeated?
8-0 straight up.
Yeah.
8-0 against the spread by an average win margin of 21 points. 3 sure things in life: death, taxes, I love my wife to death. Oh, there's a 4th one. Dan Campbell doesn't lose back-to-back games. By the way, she just walked in, so I'm going to give my wife a little bit of plug there.
Nice.
So we love Detroit on Monday night. And then last but certainly not least, the last game I will give you, I will buy the Giants as an underdog, getting 7.5 at Denver. Call me crazy. I gave you an ugly dog of the Jets in London, and I mean, I didn't give it to you, but we'll lean toward the Giants plus the points. I'm drinking the boys' Kool-Aid from Ole Miss. College football. Let's fly. Vandy over LSU.
Ooh, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see them beat them outright.
They're going to. They're
Good.
going to. So Vandy over LSU, Alabama over Tennessee, South Carolina over Oklahoma, and last but not least, let's roll with Bama, South Carolina, Vandy, and Georgia over Ole Miss.
Ooh.
There you go.
That's going to be a good ball game, Georgia Ole Miss.
Yep. My problem with that game is Ole Miss played Washington State last week. Struggled to beat them.
Yeah.
And only scored 24 points. 3 weeks ago, Washington State went to North Texas. Now, if North Texas and Georgia played, what would be the score?
49-0.
Okay. North Texas beat Washington State 59-10.
Wow.
North Texas scored 59 points on Washington State, and Ole Miss struggles to score 24. Something doesn't smell right.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
You got the trash or leave the dishes in the sink, my friend.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, right in the kitchen. Georgia, get it done.
Outstanding. Always good to talk to you, sir. Say hello to your lovely wife, and we'll wrap to
buddy.
you. We'll wrap to you next week.
You got it, buddy.
All right, man. Take care. Brandon Lang, the irrepressible.
God, name drop after name drop after.
No
name drop.
kidding.
Jim Hershey,
And I'm
really?
And I'm mentioning that I played golf with Don Newcomb, and he's hanging out with Sly and Don Johnson and owners of NBA teams and NFL clubs, and I've smoked cigars with Arnold Schwarzenegger and played golf with Don Newcomb.
I asked Geno Smith the question one time.
That what?
I said I asked Geno Smith the question one time.
I wouldn't say that out loud.
I know, that's why.
God. Quick timeout. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. It's our last chance to help Honor Flight today. Our phone number, 842-537-6842-KERN, or use the QR code. Help us out. We'll wrap this thing up and give you a hard number next week. In the meantime, you're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's the JR Show. Well, the dominoes have begun to fall. Just got word that Stan Ellis, who took over the assembly seat in the state for Vince Fong, will not run for re-election. About 20 minutes later, announcing David Couch for assembly. That's right, the dominoes will tumble. Now, who's going to announce to take Supervisor Couch's seat? We shall see.
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
Hey, everybody, it's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Sangera Subaru. You know, it's time again for Subaru Loves Pet Month. For the past few years, Sangera Subaru has supported the Bakersfield SPCA's efforts to increase adoption during the month of October. Last year, the Bakersfield SPCA had a total of 73 cats and dogs, all adopted. This year's goal, 100 animals adopted. Plus, Wednesday, October 22nd, Subaru celebrates their 7th annual National Make a Dog's Day. We invite all dog enthusiasts to do something special for their furry friends or maybe consider either adopting or fostering a dog. In addition, the SPCA holding a low-cost microchip and vaccination clinic Saturday, October 25th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. $20 each for a microchip or vaccine. Now is a great time to adopt a pet from the Bakersfield SPCA. Join Sangera Subaru in supporting this worthwhile cause during the Subaru Loves Pet Month. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code RADIO to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RADIO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RADIO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Tell you what to put down. Just move your body all around and just shake. Oh, mama, shake. That's the way you do it. Shake. Oh, you're looking good now. Shake. Yeah. Aha.
842-537-6812-KER. Let's check the board. What's everybody talking about?
Ralph, President Trump just commuted the sentence of George Santos. Any thoughts?
Who cares? Who cares about that freak? He's never going to get elected dog catcher. That's kind of a weird decision, but okay. I thought you were going to say Sean Combs, who is seeking a pardon. He doesn't want a commutation. He wants a pardon. And I pray the president, who knows Sean Combs, remember back in the 80s and the 90s, before Trump got into politics, he was incredibly popular with Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey and Sean Combs and Mike Tyson. So these allegations that he's a racist, you know, it's been my experience in my many decades of life that people don't turn racist. You know what I'm saying? You don't live 40, 50 years as an open-minded individual that hangs out with black people and accepts them as equals, et cetera, and then all of a sudden have a turn. You know what I'm saying? Racism is, in my opinion, primarily learned in the home, and it follows you your whole life. It's just the belief that you have that your race, whatever it may be, not just putting this on white people, whatever your race may be, is superior to the other races. That's something that you live with. It's not something that you adopt later in life. And it always amazes me, the incredible. You should see some of the clips of The View when Donald was just the king of New York, and he would come on that show, and how Whoopi and Joy Behar would just fawn all over him, and Barbara Walters, and now he's Satan and a fascist and an authoritarian. And this big show that they're putting on this Saturday is going to be a nightmare. I don't believe this thing is going to be peaceful. I think Antifa is going to be a part of this. I think the Mamdani crowd, the Democratic Socialists, and the idiots that supported Hamas and are anti-Semitic are all a part of this. It's going to be a crap show, and I cleaned that up. And as I said at the top of the show, I think that's why the Schumer shutdown continues. Because if they had to face that crowd after capitulating, as it would be perceived as, is that they capitulated to the Republicans, it would be a hostile crowd for Schumer and Jeffries and Pelosi and many of the folks that are going to speak at a lot of these rallies that are going to go on all over the nation, apparently. It's in every state. But back to Santos, that's just... I couldn't care less about George Santos. I don't care where he is or what he does, as long as he's not representing anybody in the state of New York or any other place. But it's kind of a bizarre decision. But who knows, who cares? We'll get into some local news when we come back. A local teacher who had sex with a student finds his fate, and the Attorney General's office gets directly involved in the future of Zach Scrivener. We'll explain that when we come back. It's TRBS on a Friday. I would stick around if I you.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says he has commuted the sentence of former Congressman George Santos, who's serving more than 7 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to fraud and identity theft charges. The New York Republican was sentenced in April after admitting last year to deceiving donors and stealing the identities of 11 people, including his own family members, to make donations to his campaign. Israel has received the coffin of a missing hostage handed over to the Red Cross from Hamas, according to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office. The Israeli military and security forces received the coffin inside the Gaza Strip, and it was to be transferred to Israel and the Ministry of Health's National Center for Forensic Research. More details at srnnews.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm John Shearer. The Bakersfield Police Department released the crime statistics from September. The report shows nearly 59,000 calls came into the Bakersfield Police Department Communications Center during the month, and almost 22,000 of those were 911 calls. The police department reports they received 4 calls regarding homicides, 148 regarding vehicle thefts, 116 burglary calls, and 111 aggravated assault complaints. A hearing for mental health diversion motion for former Kern County Supervisor Zach Scrivener was delayed until mid-December. Scrivener is facing 5 felony accusations. If the motion is granted, it could lead to no jail time for Scrivener. I'm John Shearer in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Agape Air. You know, when the air just isn't right, call the team that gets it done right. That's Agape Air, keeping homes comfortable for 18 years, locally owned and always professional. And who knows better than I? They serve my complex. From smart thermostat help to service requests, repairs, replacements, and preventative maintenance, Agape Air is prompt, knowledgeable, and delivers quality you can trust. Don't sweat it. Call Agape Air at 661-399-6600 today. Agape Air, comfort you can feel, service you can trust.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage California can count on.
Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, hopefully we'll be talking about the end of the government shutdown. We will talk jobs with America's Job Center of Kern. We'll do the hot list. We'll have news. We'll have traffic. We'll have weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at Newstalk 96.1 and streaming live on the World Wide Web at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.
The beginning of my maturation, most kids have completely matured by the time they go to college. Not me.
I don't know if that's true anymore.
Well, certainly not anymore, because kids are living with their parents when they're 30.
Yeah, that's wild.
My generation, if you were in the house after 22,
oh, you're a pariah.
Yeah, you really were. And I moved out of the house when I was 84, 85. I was 23. But I technically didn't really move out of the house. I moved in with my uncle. And I remember the night, it's like my one, I don't know if I call it a victory, but it's the one time I did something that absolutely was a screwball or a curveball to my dad, where I came into the bedroom and I sat down on the bed, which always denoted a serious discussion afoot. And I said, I'm not going back to Long Beach State. I do think I can do this without a degree. And I'm moving out of the house because I know the rule was if you're not going to go to school and you're not going to work, you got to go. That's literally what my father told me as a teenager. You'll either work or you go to school, but you can't eat neither and live under this roof. He said, really? And where are you going? Who's going to take you in? And I said, your brother? I said, what? What'd you say? I said, I'm going to live with Uncle Irvin in Inglewood. All right. Is that it? You're a grown-ass man, Ralph. And I walked out of the room, and I walked around the hallway back to my room, and I stood there. I just stood there. And then I could hear the punching of the numbers on the phone. And I stayed there. And all I could hear was, Irvin, this is Big Ralph. And then my mother started coming down the hallway, so I had to run down the steps. So I never heard what they said. But his first phone call was to his little brother. What have you done? Don't enable this fool. I had this boy going to Long Beach State, and now he's throwing that away and going to come live with you, and he's going to become a waiter, and then he's going to work for some crappy weekly newspaper in South Central, and then some crappy weekly newspaper in Culver City. How am I going to get this boy back into college if you're going to enable him? I'm assuming that's what was said. The Attorney General's office, Rob Bonta, the incompetent one, has now, when I first read that there had been another delay and the Zach Scrivener situation, I assumed that was coming out of the office of one Umberto Sala, but no, it is from the AG's office. Let's only hope that it's maybe they're reconsidering charges. Maybe the pressure of the news that have been chronicling that this man allegedly touched his daughter and has not been charged with a sex crime and doesn't have to register as a sex offender, and the fact that we're coming up on this thing and now that HA is asking for a mental diversion, maybe Bonta has finally looked at the file and said, oh my God, what have we done? I don't know. I don't know if that's even possible at this point. I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. All I can tell you is that they've come in and they've asked for this delay. Mr. Scrivener, probably not, represented by Sala, will be in court on December the 15th to adjudicate this thing. But I still maintain, as I have from the day it occurred in Tehachapi, Zach Scrivener will never spend one moment in jail. He will never have to register as a sex offender. And his life, as putrid as it is, and the only reason I make an analysis of his life and describe it as such is because what father doesn't want to have a relationship with his children? And that is the ultimate karma. That on that infamous day, he's fighting with his children. One has to stick a knife in his back. I can't even perceive that in my mind. I just told you the story about one of the greatest confrontations I ever had with my father, and that was telling him that I wasn't going to continue to go to school, and I wasn't going to live in Palos Verdes anymore. I was going to Inglewood. And that was one of the greatest confrontations I ever had with my father, other than when I came home from Morehouse my sophomore year after dating Rhonda, who lived in Silver Spring, Maryland, and the Christmas phone bill was in the hundreds. And my father was like, there will be no calls to Silver Spring, Maryland. And I'm 19 with my cute little girlfriend. I'm like, oh, is that right? Well, I live here, and if I'm going to use the phone when I want to use the phone. I actually said that to my father. And it's the only time it got weird and ugly. And it's the only time I realized just how country strong my dad is. Because I'm good 2 inches taller than my father. That's why I was never that tall. I had the part Bailey genes. Because the Dolly genes, I would have been a college athlete, Chris Burdick. My grandfather was 6'5".
Oh, wow.
My mother's brother, who disappeared in the 1960s, that's another story, was 6'6". My mother's mother was 5'11". And my feet are shaped like your hand. In other words, literally on one foot, my third toe is bigger than my big toe. And on the other foot, the second toe is bigger than the big toe. Now you say, where are you going? Have you been smoking weed, Ralph? My mother told me when I was 14 years old that I am her mini-me, which I am. I'm the spitting image of my mother and my grandfather, and that those little Bailey genes were not going to hold me down, and that the foot that was shaped like that indicated that I was going to be tall. So every summer, when I play the kids in the neighborhood and I'd eat the basketball because I was 5'8" and they were 6'1", I'd be like, that's all right. It's coming. It's coming. I'm going to have that sprout. I'm going to have that jump. And them damn little Bailey jeans. My dad was 5'9", my uncle's 5'8", and Pee Wee, which is literally my dad's oldest brother's nickname since he was a child. In fact, he's not known in Beaufort as Charles Bailey, my grandfather's name. He is Pee Wee. He's a postman for 50 years, and then he became the inspector general, the poster inspector, whatever the head deal is in Beaufort. He all of 5'7". So them damn putrid Bailey jeans thwarted me, and I'm a gargantuan 5'11". Telling you, 6'1", I'd have been a star, Chris. Just 6'1". Because I have big hands for a guy that's 5'11". So if I was 6'1", my hands would be gargantuan. And I can catch anything. I have really good eye-hand coordination. If I had been 6'1", I'm telling you, at least West LA.
I'm not talking about UCLA, SC, Washington State, but I could have played junior college football.
Yeah, sir.
I knew some guys that played at West LA and at Pierce and at some of the junior colleges in LA. Although back in those days, going to junior college was like going on the short bus. It's the smart play in the 21st century. But back in the 70s and the 80s, if you went to junior college, it was because your ass couldn't get into a 4-year school. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have the SAT scores. You didn't have the ACT scores. And the only form of education for you was a junior college. But that's not the case anymore. Going the JC route, at least for the first 2 years, obviously, is the smart play. And now the BC, Bakersfield College, has set up a system in which you can earn credit. This has always been the case, but now they've taken it to another level where you can graduate high school and damn near have your junior college degree. And in fact, we've talked about T. Johnson's daughter just graduated from high school, and she's a sophomore in college. I believe that's accurate. And it's an incredible program. And the whole face of junior colleges have changed since I was a young man many decades ago. Many decades ago. But this has been a sad episode. At this point, I just hope it comes to an end, the Scrivener situation. Let's just admit what it is. He's got the complexion for the protection. He's got the name for the protection. And he was never going to go to jail. And the karma is he had a wonderful wife. He had a beautiful family. And now it's exploded. And now he's got to be a lonely man who has to be a pariah. I can't imagine who he hangs out with or what he does. All we know is he's taking a class at Cal State. So he's thinking about his career. So how he gets some sort of mental diversion is a situation that hasn't been arisen. Maybe that's why they're delaying this out of the AG's office. Maybe they're re-examining those charges. Why wasn't he charged? There's obviously some self-confession that he was on mushrooms. You know, what the hell's that about? He was the only adult in the room, the only adult in the home, and you're taking mushrooms? That's not like more child endangerment? You really can be a parent and be, his wife is out earning a living or doing what she does, and you're in charge of these small children, and you're popping mushrooms? And then you end up in bed with one of your daughters and not a day in jail. Not one. Not one. It makes you think sometimes there's just no justice, but there is. There truly is. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, more local news. Michael Parra, the Arvin High School teacher who had a consensual relationship with one of his students, so much so that when he was arrested, the student told the DA's office, I ain't gonna testify. I'm just as part of this as he is. He found out his fate. We'll break that down to you. Coming up in the 5, it's time for Dodger baseball. First pitch, 5:38. We'll preview tonight's game. Shohei Ohtani taking the bump for the Dodgers, so don't expect any hits out of him. Not that we have that triple first hit he's had. No, I think it's the second. I think he's got he got a base hit to score a run. So I think he's got 2 hits in this series. And I think he had 2 hits in the Philly series.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2. But thankfully, the depth of this ball club, we're still winning. We're still winning. And I think our defense and its role in our success has been greatly underrated. Because that play Max Muncy made last night was unbelievable. And Mookie looking like Derek Jeter, backhanding a ball in left field, doing the Jeter jump and bouncing it off the grass. It's one of the best plays Mookie's ever made. I think he is finally settled in at shortstop. And I think by the middle of next season, you're going to hear people talking about Golden Glove talk, that Mookie has finally found his way back at shortstop. He was originally a shortstop as a young man. And, yeah, I think he's finally settled in. I really think he has. Which means There are more championships on the way, if you ask me. And I'm not alluding to the first two. Just saying. And did you notice I used the verb intensifier more? Meaning that we're about to, okay. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Friday. Right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Monday's Armstrong and Getty Show. I guarantee there'll be news about Trump, Zelensky, and Putin, and Hamas has been given a lot of ultimatums.
Are we at war with Venezuela yet? And the suburban dad who calls plays for 100 different college football teams every Saturday. Really interesting story. Plus, we'll hit the news of the day for you. That is what we do around here on the next Armstrong and Getty Show.
Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries here in Kern County. If you are eligible for Medicare and looking for a doctor who listens, and time you learned about options for 2025, call today, 661-554-4544. That's 661-554-4544. Get the information you need and the coverage you deserve. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, call 661-554-4544, TTY 711.
Nitro fans, this is it, the ultimate throwback event of the year. The California Hot Rod Reunion, featuring Nitro Revival, returns to Famoso Drag Strip October 24th through the 26th. 2 legendary shows, 1 epic weekend, all presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports. 3 big days of nitro-burning funny cars, dragsters, and those insane fuel alters, plus the legendary Cackle Fest. That's right, the Cackle Fest is back, baby! As always, every ticket is a pit pass. Check out the car show, the swap meet, and the manufacturer's midway. This will be the largest gathering of nitro cars in the country, so come feel the sensation and smell the nitro all weekend long. See the champions crowned on Championship Sunday. Tickets available at the gate or nhramuseum.org. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. The California Hot Rod Reunion, presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports, featuring Nitro Revival at Famoso Drag Strip in Bakersfield, October 24th through the 26th. Be there! Be there! Be there! Be there!
The annual enrollment period for Medicare is here. That means that it is time for you to select your Medicare plan for 2026. This annual enrollment period, choose a name you already trust. Select Kern Family Healthcare Medicare, DSNP, a new option for people who have both Medicare and Medi-Cal. For over 29 years, Kern Family Healthcare has been a trusted name in Medi-Cal. Now, we're here to support your Medicare journey too. Call 1-866-661-3767.
As long as it
Again,
goes 7.
that's
That's all I want.
1-866-661-3767.
I know.
Or visit
If we win tonight, get some
www.kernfamilyhealthcare.com/Medicare to learn more and enroll. Start your
Friday?
Medicare journey with local care you trust. Choose Kern Family Healthcare. Kern Family Healthcare Medicare is an HMO DSNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the California Medicaid program. Enrollment in Kern Family Healthcare Medicare HMO DSNP depends on contract renewal.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show.
have a
Catch
problem
me
with
weekday
that. I
morning,
think it
6
gives
to 9
Shirley an
a.m. on
opportunity
First
to
Look
clean
with
up his
Scott
act,
Cox, News Talk
and it
96.
gives
I this at a Dodger game where I thought I was completely covered. I had on a t-shirt, then I had on a black t-shirt, and then I had on a shirt, and I wore my Dodger blue hoodie, and it was 56 degrees that night. And I hung for about 5 innings like this, chilling. And I just said, I got to buy something. I can't handle it. And I went into the tourist thing, and I was just like, this is going to kill me. but I got to do it. And I saw this and I was like, God, that's gorgeous. Because another woman had just bought one. And I was like, God, that looks good on you. I wasn't trying to flirt. I just said, it looks really good on you. And I didn't want something really cumbersome. And how much do you think this thing ran me?
$90? God, I wish, right?
This is the Guggenheims, Chris.
150.
240.
You did I. Dude.
240 cost me for a vest. But I thought
I don't know if I would drop 240.
When you're freezing,
I know that's fair.
And it's a good look. I like it. I like the logo and everything. But yeah, that was a little punch to the kidney to the bank account. 842-537-6842 KERN. So Mike Parra, the teacher who inexplicably, because I just don't get it. There are two things that I don't get. The idea that there are grown folks that actually believe that they can pull off a relationship with a minor, that the minor won't talk. Now, in this case, she didn't because she was totally in love with this guy and didn't want anybody to know about it. But that's inevitable when you talk to a child. They can't keep secrets. B, how did he get caught, Chris? And I know you don't know knowledge of this, but I bet you can guess.
Social media?
In a sense, text messages between her and the girl. Like, really? You're going to send a teenage girl who you are a student of text messages just praying and relying on the fact that her parents don't check her phone, which more of you should for cases like this? I'm telling you, it's a good thing I haven't been a father. Because my children would hate me. Because weekly I'd be like, let me take a look at the phone.
I'm looking at text records. I don't even look at the phone.
Let me look through the text. Let me look who you're calling. I want to, my parents did that to me.
I'll call AT&T and say, hey, can I get a record of everything, please?
My room was open fodder for my mother. She went through my drawers. She read my peachy folder. She wanted to know who's Connie. That's my girlfriend, Mom. Oh, you got a girlfriend? Well, yeah, I'm a male. You want me to have a boyfriend? Don't get smart with me, boy. And it was open. See, I told you the story. She found my bong one day and put it in the damn middle of the kitchen table just to mess with my mind. I come home, nobody's home. And there is my bong sitting on top of the kitchen table. And I don't know what to do. It ain't Patrice's, who at the time, I'm 15, so Patrice was 11. It ain't Teresa's. And if I'm 15, Tina was 5. And it certainly wasn't Big Ralph's. So what do I do? Do I throw it away? Do I take it back? And I mean, I had it hid in the closet. Like the top shelf of my closet was all my board games, which were many. I loved Scrabble and Monopoly, and we played Sorry and all these board games. And I put it inside of my Scrabble box in the very corner back of my closet. And Harriet Colombo found it nevertheless. I mean, she's going through my closet like TSA.
I wonder if she was just trying to play Scrabble one day. And just
No. Yeah, that's what it was, Chris. Let me go to Ralph's room and get the Scrabble board. Because Sylvia's coming over. We don't play Scrabble.
Exactly.
No, she was because I wasn't allowed to eat in my room. And I ate in my room. And one day I heard my dad coming down the hall, and I put a plate in a drawer and forgot about it, and came home one night and got a tongue lashing. I don't think I got a whooping, but she's like, A, you're eating in your room. B, this is why we won't let you eat in the room, because there's a plate in the drawer. And I said, well, the only reason I did that, and I was always honest with my parents. I never lied to my parents. I really didn't. And I was like, well, the only reason I did that because I heard Dad coming down the hallway. I stuck it and I forgot about it. And she said, see, that's just irresponsible and stupid. And that's why you were not allowed to eat in your room. I remember all the time. There were nights like on Monday Night Football when there was a back entrance to our house, and I would literally go out the kitchen, go out the side door where the garbage cans were, go back around through the back of the house, the backyard with my plate, sneaking, hoping they can't see me through the sliding glass doors and go through the back, leave the back door that's next to my room open and sneak in that way so I can have dinner and watch the Monday Night Football game. I was a devious, mischievous young man. But that's the kind of trouble I got into. I didn't get into any like street trouble. I didn't hang out with bad kids. I was just, as I've grown up as an adult, wanted to do it Ralph's way, you know. And I just wanted to eat my dinner and watch Monday Night Football with Howard Cosell, Danny Don, and Frank Gifford. Kathy Lee's soon-to-be husband at the time.
2-1 Blue Jays.
2-1 Blue Jays?
2-1 Blue Jays, top of the 6.
Doesn't matter. We just wanted to go 7. We'll talk Dodger baseball coming up in the 5. Chris says it might hurt the Dodgers if we win tonight and we get a whole week off. I think he's clinically insane. Give our rotation and our bullpen some time to rest and get Shohei back on track. We'll do that in the 5. Don't go anywhere.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump hosted Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Friday at the White House, part of a renewed push to end Russia's more than 3-year war in Ukraine.
The president had shown openness to selling Ukraine long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles, but with Zelensky in the room, he was reluctant. Would much rather have them not need Tomahawks. Would much rather have the war be over. Vladimir Putin says the addition of Tomahawks would further strain the U.S.-Russian relationship. Zelensky says Russia is weak.
They have a lot of losses in economy and people, and I think this is very important.
Ed Donahue, Washington.
Plans are squashed for Bibles in Oklahoma public schools.
Oklahoma's new public schools superintendent is rescinding a mandate from his predecessor that forced schools to incorporate the Bible into lesson plans for students. Superintendent Lindell Field said in a statement that he has no plans to distribute Bibles or a biblical character education curriculum in classrooms. Last year's directive from the former superintendent drew immediate condemnation from civil rights groups. It also prompted a lawsuit from a group of parents, teachers, and religious leaders.
Correspondent Walter Ratliff reporting. 5 remaining universities have been weighing an offer from President Trump to sign a compact for higher education. None have signed on as the deadline approaches the University of Virginia's decisions. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 238 points. More at townhall.com.
I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. You're an adult, right? But you should know gold has increased over 80% in the past 2 years. Yeah, 80%. So if you think stuffing money under your mattress or riding the roller coaster of Wall Street is your retirement plan, well, I wouldn't want to be banking on that strategy. It's time to diversify your savings and retirement assets into physical metals like gold and silver. That's where Advantage Gold comes in. When you call 800-741-GOLD, we'll send you a free gold kit that explains how rolling over your IRA or 401k into gold could not only supercharge your retirement, but maybe even help preserve your sanity. And let's be real, when's the last time you ever heard someone say, "Hey, sell all your gold"? Exactly, never. The number's simple, 800-741-4653. And if you can spell, even better, that's 800-741-GOLD. Always consult with your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-741-GOLD.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm John Shearer. 5 people were arrested for illegal marijuana growing. The Kern County Sheriff's Office reports that nearly 3,000 marijuana plants and just over 2,500 pounds of processed marijuana were seized. Search warrants were served and the seizures were made in Taft, Maricopa by deputies with assistance from the Kern County Sheriff's High-Intensity Drug Trafficking Force in conjunction with agents from Fish and Game Wildlife. The Bakersfield Police Department released crime statistics from September. The report shows nearly 59,000 calls came into the Bakersfield Police Department Communications Center during the month, and almost 22,000 of those were 911 calls. The police department reports they received 4 calls regarding homicides, 148 regarding vehicle thefts, 116 burglary calls, and 111 aggravated assault complaints. The National Rifle Association and several other groups filed a lawsuit challenging California's Glock ban. Last Friday, Governor Newsom signed into law a bill that prohibits the sale or transfer of Glock and Glock-style handguns. The lawsuit argues that the ban on these handguns violates the Second Amendment. A hearing for a mental health diversion motion for former Kern County Supervisor Zach Scribner was delayed until mid-December. Scribner is facing 5 felony accusations. If the motion is granted, it could lead to no jail time for Scribner. If area retailers follow an apparent national trend, seasonal temporary hiring may be down for the upcoming holiday season. Placement firm Challenger, Gray & Christmas forecast overall holiday retail hiring this year could fall to its lowest point since the recession hit season of 2009. However, the firm acknowledges that only a handful of companies have made public commitments regarding holiday staffing, and it appears to be a wait-and-see situation. I'm John Shearer in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You gotta get up close like this. Bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast, final hour of the week. It's been a wonderful honor flight week. We traveled to our nation's capital Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on Honor Flight 52 and came back yesterday and raised over $30,000 for Honor Flight. And again, this is your last chance. We're going to try to get a hard number by next week. But use the QR codes located at any of the Sully's locations. Or just call the show. Make a pledge. Write us a check. Venmo, whatever you want to do. 842-5376, 842-KERN. In the meantime, the next big Honor Flight event is the breakfast that occurs the first Thursday of the month. And I will be there in November because a lot of the guys that went on this trip, the extraordinary men and women, will be there. I, in fact, strongly urged many of the guys to be there. And so I'm going to try to be present and try to help out and just see the fellas. You become part of a family. I did mention at the top of the program, however, I'm going to be stepping back my role a little bit as part of Honor Flight. It's been a great run, and I've talked about, whenever I talk about Honor Flight, and whenever I talk about my career, that thing that I'm most proud of and the thing that has given me the greatest fulfillment and just most rewarding thing I've ever done is my association with Honor Flight. But a lot of things happen and a lot of things change, and I'm not getting any younger, and I think it's time that I focus on some different things right now. But I will always be a proponent of Honor Flight, and I might get involved with Portrait of a Warrior. I might get more deeply involved with them, but I'm going to step back. But don't forget, our Honor Flight Open coming up in March. I believe the hard date is the 23rd of March, Chris? Something like that.
Something of that nature.
Something like that. But obviously, we've got plenty of time to tell you about that. But do want to stop and thank all that helped us out yesterday, particularly Paul Guerra. He had his company, Double Eagle Golf, sent us $2,000. Then he personally wrote a check for $1,000. Mike Turnipseed and his wife gave $500. Kathy Abernathy gave us $500. Me being in Washington 3 days before the fundraiser did not help. It was I wasn't able to contact all the people that I could have. You'd have to be with me to understand how frantic the trip is for me, because I have to rush the first day we get there. In fact, the show always starts on a Monday on the bus on the way into Washington. And on flight 52, it was a rainy day in Baltimore, so the traffic was horrendous. What time do you think we got on the air Monday?
With
4:30, 4:15?
Yeah.
I mean, from the hotel, I mean.
From the hotel, probably about 4:30.
Yeah, see. And then Tuesday is a full show. And this is one of the first times that I was able to do a complete show, had an opportunity to take a shower and get some food because we got back at 5:30 because we did not go somewhere we normally go. And I can't remember where.
Fort, right?
No, that's the last day. Fort McHenry, we didn't go. I'm talking about on Tuesday. We got back early. Maybe we did everything we were supposed to do. We were just on a tighter, quicker schedule. But I was in the hotel by 5:30, and I took a shower and changed clothes and was able to go downstairs and get some food because normally I don't get to eat, which was one of my big complaints. And I think I'm the folks at Honor Flight are growing a little weary of Ralph Bailey. I heard some allusions to me from some of the veterans that they could have only gotten from board members or people that wasn't exactly flattering. And I was like, wow, all I've done is help raise over $300,000. And do you know that, I often allude to my first trip there, we did not broadcast, so I had nothing to do.
Right.
And at the time, Nick Ragone lived in Washington, had Washington National season tickets, and he took me to a ball game. And I got read the riot act when I got back to the hotel. Do you know in a recent meeting that was alluded to and referred to? And it was at least 7 years ago. And just reference of me being always late, which is not true. I may not be on their time, but I've never held up a plane, held up a bus. There's the infamous me being left by a bus. And I guess the perception is I was running late, but that's not true. I was on the bus. I left my phone in my hotel room. And maybe you could say, well, that's irresponsible, Ralph. But people are flawed. And I went to the bus leader and said, I got to get off the bus because I've used my telephone as a microphone. That's how I send the interviews back to Chris. And the bus left me. So I was not late. I was left. But I think it's been perceived as Bailey's late again. I sat at two different tables of veterans, and both groups said, we hear you're always late. And kind of hurt me a little bit. Kind of hurt me just a little bit. But what are you going to do? I'm a little sensitive, I'm a little sensitive. In the meantime, what do you got on the board? As we are about, half an hour away from first pitch?
Roughly, yeah.
Shohei Ohtani versus Jose Quintana. What do you got?
Shouldn't Speaker Johnson swear in the latest Congresswoman from Arizona? It's been almost a month.
I don't understand that. The talk on the Democratic side is he's afraid she would be the final vote to open up the Epstein files. And there's some belief among Democrats that that's why he won't swear in. That's as bizarre as Trump pardoning or commuting the sentence of George Santos. I can't explain that. And I heard 17 report, I forgot to ask some of the members of Honor Flight, 17 was reporting that the speaker addressed us. And I didn't see Mike Johnson. I ran into Mark Kelly, senator from Arizona, who's married to Gabby Giffords, who was shot not fatally in Arizona, former congresswoman. I saw him. I saw Aisha, I can't remember her name. She's a Fox reporter.
Taylor?
Huh?
Aisha Taylor? No.
No, that's a comedian. That's a beautiful black comedian who played Ross's girlfriend for a short period of time. One of the few black people ever on that show. A show set in New York City. and not a black, Latino, Puerto Rican, Asian to be found. That's the thing I couldn't understand, my friends. Of all the cities in the world where all you show is white people, New York City is the last place that you could depict it like that. The very last. Because there's not a coffee shop in New York where it's filled with Puerto Ricans and Asians and Vietnamese and black folks and white folks. New York City is the hub of cultural and ethnic diversity. And yet, in the middle of the 80s, there was a show that was about white people.
Hasney, by the way, is her last name.
Hasni, yes, gorgeous girl. And I had no gonads because she was standing by herself. Her cameraman had left. And I said, I should interview her. But journalists don't like to be interviewed, so I was very that. And I punked out on interviewing Mark Kelly because he was standing by himself. He was talking with somebody. But I could have said, Senator, can I get a word? My name's Ralph Bailey. I'm a reporter from Bakersfield, Kern Radio. But I missed out. And the other thing I'm ashamed of is when we did have David Valdeo and Vince Fong, and another congressman came in, another group was about to come in at the end of our session on the House floor from Alaska. I didn't put the Bailey theory in motion. Could you imagine if I had said that and they put that on the floor? I know how to end the shutdown. If you have ever be another shutdown again in life. Never. Never. Which got me into a rabbit hole. Do you know what percentage of the 435 are millionaires?
Probably like 75.
No, not quite that high, but almost half. 51% of them are millionaires.
Wow.
On a $174,000 salary. Now, granted, many of them came to Congress millionaires, but not all of them. I don't think Kevin McCarthy was a millionaire when he went off to Congress. And now he is a multi-millionaire. Nancy Pelosi, she might have had, she comes from money, but her portfolio has quadrupled. And that whole Visa thing, where she and Paul got into Visa at the last minute, and then it skyrocketed out of nowhere. In other words, in Ralph Bailey's opinion, there's insider trading going on in Congress, and how they're allowed to get involved in stock that they literally vote upon is absolutely stunning to me, absolutely mind-boggling to me. And you know who is the enemy? You and I. Us. We've met the enemy, and he is us, because we should be pounding the table, demanding that end, and that when a shutdown occurs, they don't get paid. If we were out in the streets like Antifa and the hard left are going to be out on the streets on Saturday demanding that Congress doesn't get paid during a shutdown, things might change a little bit. But we have met the enemy in many, many cases, and he is us, where we don't bang the cage enough. We really don't. Let's go ahead and take a break. We come back, we'll check the board again. And the nerves are starting to set in. At 3-0, I'm still nervous. That's why when Chris says, I don't know if you want to win tonight, I'm like, boy, you done lost your mind. Let's end this thing now. Let's don't even flirt with the idea of another 2001 comeback like the Boston Red Sox put on the Yankees. I think it was 2001. I could be wrong. But let's don't even flirt with that. You know what I'm saying? When you got a guy and your foot is on his neck, you don't give up for a minute. Take him out. Take him out. Let's hope Shohei can take him out, because if he doesn't, we know for almost a fact that in the third game in Los Angeles, he's going to be worthless. Do you know what Shohei's batting average is after he pitches? 171. And he's already battling a little cold streak. Got a triple last night, but I finally saw the triple. That was a weird triple. It's not like he banged that hard. It just went down the line and got kind of caught up. But game 4 in about 20 minutes, Shohei against Jose Quintana. The Brewers have found the enemy, and they are themselves. They have 9 hits in 3 games. Is that the Brewers, Chris, or is that Dodger pitching?
God, good argument could be made by both, but
that's the good answer. So I think it's a little bit of both.
I think it's a little bit of
I
both.
think they're struggling, and our starting pitching
Just that dang good.
is that damn good. And it has been for the last month, the last 6 weeks. The issue has been that left field fence out there. But now it's down to 4 guys. Vesia, Bonda, I hate to say this out loud, but Blake Trinan, and our closer.
And Tanner is injured at the moment. He'll be back by World Series. They pulled him last week.
But it wasn't because of injury.
No, I'm most likely assuming Dave looked at him and said, go get yourself right. We may use you in the World Series. Maybe.
$72 million. Blew 2 saves all last year. He blew 11. And the only reason I stress that, the 2 top winners in Major League Baseball had about 4 or 5 more wins than the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So if Tanner Scott just blows half of those 11, we probably have the best record in baseball. 11 blown saves. Quick timeout. We're coming right back. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Friday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. It's the JR Show.
So the city decides to put a gel bed task force together to find more gel beds. And who better to run the show? Well, Councilman Bob Smith. That's right, Bicycle Bob needs something to hang his hat on when he runs for re-election next year because somebody's going to run against him, and he's feeling the heat. And what exactly has Bicycle Bob done on his tenure as city council? Anybody?
The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
Hope you join us every Thursday, particularly at 4:30, when Daniel Petrie from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors joins us. Daniel gives us a weekly update on the deficit and its growth. We look at silver and gold and obviously the stock market and all kind of economic issues that most importantly impact you. But again, you guys know what Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors are all about. They're all about retirement. I keep telling you guys, it's one of the smartest moves that I've ever made financially. Call Daniel at 395-9400, 395-9400 if retirement is in your near future. Or just tune in Thursdays at 4:30 when he joins us every week. Daniel Petrie and the folks at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only. Does not constitute a solicitation or offer to buy or sell any security, future, option, or other financial instrument, or to offer or provide any investment advisory or other services to any person in any jurisdiction by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Inc., DBA Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. Any views expressed in this broadcast by us are prepared based upon the information available to us at the time, and we are under no obligation to update our views.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Norma Diaz, owner of La Rosa Fruit Bars and Ice Cream.
Hi, I'm Norma Diaz from La Rosa Fruit Bars and Ice Cream, and I'm a client and friend of Paul Sheldon. I've known Paul for many, many years, and my parents happened to be his first clients. So, of course, I called Paul and immediately felt this peace come over me, knowing that I didn't have to freak out about making a big decision. His knowledge about Medicare and your health insurance needs are beyond compare, and I was taken care of immediately by his wonderful staff. He knew everything that I needed and what I wouldn't need, so I was pretty much in and out of there in record time. If you're getting to that age or you're going to be needing to know about Medicare,
Let's
then
put
he's
it
the
on.
one to call. He will totally help you out and get you pointed in the right direction. You're going to leave there feeling a great accomplishment and no concerns. And even if you have questions later, his staff can help you out. Those feelings are just priceless to me. So call Paul. You'll be glad you did.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
That smell! Did you do it on purpose?
At first, but then
I couldn't smell it.
I just
Everybody else says they could.
I had Leonard Skinner and I saw that and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry."
That's funny. Have you guys heard about Brewer Karen?
Okay, so I've heard this, but I just thought it was some AI change of that Philly Karen thing from a couple weeks ago.
No.
This is a whole different lady.
Whole different lady.
Oh, good
Did
lord.
I didn't send you any audio of her?
You might have. Give me one moment.
Let me see. Yeah, double check to see if I did, because I think I did. Of her, of what she said at a Brewer Stadium. I'm pretty sure I did, because I was pissed that I forgot to tell you got to bleep out a F-bomb at the very end. It doesn't matter. I can just tell them what she said and what happened. But the audio is a whole lot better if you can find it.
Oh, I can find it. I got it right here.
You
Just
got
give me a
it?
sec, just load it up.
Okay. This is a Dodger fan. Now this, I'm not saying that he provoked it, but what the Dodger fan did was a little classless, if you ask me. It was at the end of the game, and he is filming and asking Brewer fans, "Why is everybody so quiet? Why is everybody so quiet?" And he's, putting it in their face. And that's why youth sports, I think, is so important. Because if you're a good coach, you teach the kids at a young age not only how to lose, which is really important, but how to win humbly, knowing that you're going to be on the other side of that defeat one day, and you don't want somebody shoving it in your face any more than you're doing to them. Well, this guy didn't, and the woman now known as Brewer Karen got involved.
Oh, why is everybody quiet? Wait, what is this? I'm sorry. Call ice. Call ice. I'm a U.S. citizen, war veteran, baby girl. War veteran, 2 wars. ICE is not going to do anything to me. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Call ice. Call him. Call him. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, okay, that's enough. You get the picture. And did you edit that, or did it just not start where she uses the P word?
I just didn't start with she used the
Okay.
P word to avoid that one.
Yeah, there's a nickname for a cat and a nickname for a sexual part that begins with P that rhymes with fussy.
There you go.
And she called him a fussy because he was drinking like some kind of White Claw or something like that.
Yeah,
She
some
said
seltzer.
something, yeah, the real men drink beer. And he continued to laugh at her, and she alluded to her husband and told him, because apparently he was Hispanic, and she said, call ICE, call immigration. Well, the internet has struck again. The young woman has lost her job. She is banned from all Brewer games, and Mark Walters, CEO of the Los Angeles Dodgers, I'm reading now, just shocked the sports community when he announced that he would, quote, permanently ban the woman dubbed Philly's Karen from entering Dodger Stadium. Oh, no, this is a different deal. This is a different deal. My bad. This is
No, that's
Philly
Philly
Karen.
Karen.
This is Philly Karen. But Brewers Karen has been banned from all Brewers. Because it's funny. My brain is a little
fuzzy.
Apparently, because I was wondering, like, why would he ban somebody from Dodger Stadium who lives in Milwaukee?
Well, not even just that, but the Philly Karen was in Miami. So why would she get banned from Dodger Stadium if she's not even in LA?
Well, I think if I wanted to read the whole thing because he also went on to say that he sent a warning to the entire Dodger fan community, quote, anyone who is competitive, aggressive, and disregards mutual respect like that woman in the recent incident is not welcomed at Dodger Stadium. So he used that to tell Dodger fans who can get a little unruly. And I mean, we've had people almost die at Dodger Stadium. So I think that was outstanding that Mark Walters took a stand and made a point. But this woman lost her job for going viral racist at a damn ball game. The internet is just picking off employees one by one. Quick timeout, final half hour of the week. I would stick around if I you.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says he has commuted the sentence of former U.S. Representative George Santos, who's serving more than 7 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to fraud and identity theft charges. The New York Republican was sentenced in April after admitting stealing the identity. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 238 points, the Nasdaq rose 117, the S&P advanced 35. This is SRN News.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm John Shearer. 5 people were arrested for illegal marijuana growing. The Kern County Sheriff's Office reports that nearly 3,000 marijuana plants and just over 2,500 pounds of processed marijuana were seized. Search warrants were served and the seizures were made in Taft, Maricopa by deputies with assistance from the Kern County Sheriff's High-Intensity Drug Traffic Force in conjunction with agents from Fish and Game Wildlife. A reminder that a Houchin Community Blood Bank football ticket promotion ends tomorrow. All blood donors who make successful donations will receive 2 general admission tickets, good for any Bakersfield College Renegades home game. The promotion is valid at all donation centers and mobile drives. I'm John Shearer in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Kern County business owners, this one's for you. Meet Trucordia, the new name built on trust and accord. With over 100 years of combined experience, Trucordia protects local businesses with smart, cost-saving benefit solutions. From reducing risk to keeping your team happy, Trucordia offers free online tools and hands-on support. As a full-service agency, Trucordia takes your insurance plans to the next level. Call 661-401-2280 today. Trucordia, where trust and harmony work for your business. 661-401-2280.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries here in Kern County. If you are eligible for Medicare and looking for a doctor who listens and cares about you with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations, it's time you learned about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA contracts with most Medicare Advantage health plans and provides you with access to a large network of outstanding doctors and quality hospitals right here in Kern County. Medicare Advantage health plans go beyond original Medicare benefits coverage, and understanding these coverage differences may be confusing. Call us today at 661-554-4544. Let us help you understand your healthcare options for 2025. Call today, 661-554-4544. That's 661-554-4544. Get the information you need and the coverage you deserve. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, call 661-554-4544, TTY 711.
Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, hopefully we'll be talking about the end of the government shutdown. We will talk jobs with America's Job Center of Kern. We'll do the hot list. We'll have news. We'll have traffic. We'll have weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at Newstalk 96.1 and streaming live on the World Wide Web at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
I love this woman. So sad. Really is. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What do you got on the board?
Let's see. Ralph, no pay for Congress is a great idea, but I say no pay for Congress and their staff does not get paid. That way they all get off their butts.
Yeah. And puts a lot of pressure on their bosses because they don't make a ton of money. Did you know that Ali Trujillo, and I deep in the, you know, the one thing that's good about getting old is you figure out who you are. You really know who you are. You know what stuff you're, you know, even if you don't think you did it, if it's something that you've done in the past, it's probably you.
You're good for the crime.
I'm good for the crime. Exactly. I didn't want to use that phrase that I use way too often, but yes, I'm good for the crime for forgetting. But I did not realize that Ali Trujillo, who is a saint, she is Congressman Fong's top aide. She hooks me up with Vince when we need him. She's got time for me after we were in Washington and we were in the House floor, and I got to talk to Vince afterwards, and I talked to Valdeo. That is John Soper's ex-sister-in-law. Did you know that?
I did not.
That she was a Soper at one time? She was married to John's older brother? I did not know that.
I was unaware.
And then I looked in my, because I put her in my my Rolodex, and I looked, and I already had her in my Rolodex, but the reason I couldn't find her is because she was Ali Soper. She's now taken her maiden name, and she's Ali Trujillo. But you're right. If all the aides didn't get paid, which they don't, you know, government work is not, that's why I can't understand how 50% of these people are millionaires. It's not huge money. All of them, all 435 could leave the house and make more money than they do, which always makes me wonder, why do they hold on for so long, and why do they leave so incredibly filthy rich? They don't leave rich. They leave filthy rich, where they come in with a $175,000 salary and they leave worth $10, $15 million. Like what? How, what? Who was the girl from Texas, the black chick with the big mouth? God dang it. I wish I had a memory.
Jasmine Crockett?
Jasmine Crockett. She makes $175,000 a year. She owns 3 homes. Now walk me through that. Because I know couples that make $175,000 a year and they're living in very not low income housing, but they ain't living in Seven Oaks, not on $175,000 a year. And she owns 3 homes. So go figure. So yeah, that's a great idea. Holy Toledo, it's time for Dodger baseball. He is an awesome figure on the mound. What is he, 6'5"? He is and Big Dog takes me once a year now to Dodger games on Jackie Robinson Day. Probably not going next year. But
Shohei's 6'3".
He's only 6'3"?
That's what I'm saying.
See, that's what I'm saying. And I've been 6 rows from him essentially. And in person, he is massive because there's some men, 6'3", Steph is 6'3".
Yeah.
But does Steph look like he's as tall or as built as Shohei Ohtani? Because there's some men like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger is literally my height, maybe a skosh taller than I am. I don't give a damn what they list him at. I've met the man. I stood next to him and smoked cigars, and he's about my height. But yet, even in person, he is an awesome figure because he is wide and broad and has got huge shoulders. And it's the same thing with Ohtani. He is not just 6'3", but he's got massive legs and he's got a wide shoulder build and he's taking the bump. Dodgers are about to get started and he looks imposing. And, Randy Johnson was much taller, but I don't think he was quite as imposing as Shohei. And I'm going to walk you through the first pitch of the ball game, which is a ball outside. Dodgers going for the sweep. Did we move the broom that Mr. Flores brought in? I had nothing to do with this, but hopefully that will be a portend to victory tonight as the Dodgers try to eliminate the Milwaukee Brewers and wait for the Toronto-Seattle series to end. Where is that right now?
It'd be 2-1 if I'm not mistaken. But
Still? Or is it a final?
Oh, no, not just yet. They were in the 7th, I believe, last time I checked.
And it's 2-1 Toronto?
Toronto, yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. We just wanted to go 7. Just wanted
Top
to go
of the
7.
8th now.
Top of the 8th. So we want Toronto to win tonight, which would go 3-2, correct?
Yes.
So then we got to root for Seattle tomorrow, and then we get a 7th game. And meanwhile, hopefully the Dodgers will be resting. Randizzle, what's your theory on a week's layoff if we win tonight? Does it help?
What I told you earlier was your pitching's what's hot.
Yes. We're not scoring a lot of runs.
Yeah, I mean, your bats are not like, it might help Ohtani to take a week
That's
off.
what I thought. Let get in the cage and work on some things.
Toronto.
No, we'd much rather play
Of the
Seattle.
two choices, no.
If we had to play somebody, we'd rather play Seattle.
Oh, 100%. You got a team that could put up 10, 11 runs on you. That's
Yeah.
what you need.
And Shohei has walked the first batter of the ball game. That is not a good sight, but I'm
Brandon
not.
says, where's Tanner Scott?
Hey, we looked it up, dude. He didn't have any surgery. He's not injured.
Oh, he's
No, we
injured.
looked
That's
it up.
They pulled him off due to an injury. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So he can't be that injured. How
I
injured
think- I
can
think
he
it's
be?
more Dave Roberts said.
No,
"Hey,
they
go
took him
get
off.
ready for
Yeah.
the World Series.
Yeah. Does the roster expand
Yes.
for the World Series?
Yeah.
What does it go to? From 25 to what? I'm guessing 32, maybe? I don't know. I could ask Siri. Where's my phone?
The roster is 26. It's fixed.
So it is fixed. So it stays the same, or is it just add 1?
Yeah, it stays the same.
Wow. I do not.
Yeah, you can trade players in and out between series. I know that for a fact, but I guess it stays at 26. I thought I at least went up to 28.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought 32, but all right, that's fine. In the meantime, what else you got on the board?
Is Zelensky a dictator? Haven't been any new elections in a while.
Well, I don't know if you've read about it. It's been in all the papers. They're at war. And you don't change horses in the middle of a war. George McClellan found that out when he challenged Abe Lincoln in the middle of the Civil War. And given how unpopular the Civil War was, one would think that Lincoln would have not won victory in the middle of the Civil War. But I think the belief by most that you don't change horses in the middle of the stream is applying here. And particularly that Ukrainians know that that's exactly what Vladimir Putin wants. One of the things that he has been telling Trump that he needs to forge some sort of ceasefire or peace is the removal of Zelensky as a leader. That's why I've said I don't think it's even possible that those two will ever be in the same room. That was our lead story today. If you weren't with us, the fact that the president is talking about escalating this war and giving long-range missiles to the Ukrainians and giving them absolute carte blanche to obviously reach into Russia. Uncle Fluffy forbade the Ukrainians to use the javelins or any of the missiles or any of the weapons, the drones that we provided to them to go directly into Russia. How you win a war by simply just, it's like trying to get into a fight and being told you can't punch the guy, but you can shove him off of you. That don't make no sense. And when you're being attacked, the idea that you can't counterattack into that country just don't make no sense. As Sadie Mae Bailey used to say, my dear sainted grandmother. One more, let's take our final break of the week.
Hey, Ralph, as a big Dodgers fan, did you see that video on social media where the lady Brewer? Oh, we were just talking about that.
Oh, he's talking about the
He's talking about
Karen
the
Brewer.
Karen.
Yeah, yeah. She lost her gig over that. Can you imagine getting fired because of something stupid you said at a ball game? And again, if you weren't with us in the last break, a kind of tacky Dodger fan was rubbing it in the Brewers' face with his phone. Why is everybody so quiet? Well, it's like, dude, shut up. Like, you can say that, but you can't call him a derogatory name. And because he's Latino, you can't say, call ICE. Call ICE. And then what really stuck it in her was the photographer, who was clearly, you never see him, but he must have been Latino, claimed that he was a two-time war veteran. Ooh. You don't get really popular when you, A, make a racist statement, and B, make the racist statement to a man who has given his life essentially to his country. But, you know, the Supreme Court has determined that ICE can scoop you up based on your looks and the way you talk. And so I think that's given carte blanche to a lot of folks that if you brown, we can tell you to leave the country or we're going to call ICE on you. But my man was a two-time war veteran, according to himself, but lost her job and can never go into, what is that, American Pie Stadium, American Love American Style. What's the name of the damn stadium? It's American something. Brewer Stadium. Final break of the week and your final chance to help us out on Honor Flight. Call the show, make a donation, go to the QR codes, all located at all the Sully's locations.
American Family Field.
American Family Field. What a ridiculous name.
That's what I was thinking.
Ridiculous. That must be some company.
It has to be.
Yeah, because everybody's sold out. What are the only two stadiums in the NFL, Chris Burdick, that have not sold out the rights to their names? One is ridiculously obvious.
I'm going to miss both of them, too, because I'm trying to think in my head right now.
All right, I'll give you a clue. Think of some of the oldest organizations in the National Football League.
Lambeau.
That's the more obvious.
Soldier?
Very nicely done. Once I gave you the hint, it became obvious.
It became a little easier. Yeah.
Soldiers Field is always going to be, although they're talking about doing something in the suburbs. I don't know how Chicagoans would take that.
I don't know if they would like it.
Yeah.
You think it's nice at first, but then you realize how much you have to move and do all that stuff just to put it there, and then the traffic that goes on top of it.
And Lambeau will be Lambeau as long as the Green Bay Packers are the Green Bay Packers.
Although I don't know, Wrigley. We're moving on from Wrigley eventually.
No, never. Never. Never.
There are 4 parks that will never change: Fenway, Wrigley, Dodger Stadium. And that's about it. But who would have predicted they'd have knocked down Babe Ruth's Yankee Stadium?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. Final break. Don't go anywhere.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Monday's Armstrong and Getty show. I guarantee there'll be news about Trump, Zelensky, and Putin. And Hamas has been given a lot of ultimatums.
Are we at war with Venezuela yet? And the suburban dad who calls plays for 100 different college football teams every Saturday. Really interesting story. Plus, we'll hit the news of the day for you. That is what we do around here on the next Armstrong and Getty show.
You want to knock these out real quick?
Yeah, hang on.
Are you going with him?
Say what?
You going to the game?
What game?
High school.
Hell no. With the Dodger game on?
True.
I told him I'm going to listen, though. I'll tune it on because I'm interested.
So am I. So I was kind of curious if I'm going or
This
not.
is going to be a big game. I mean, didn't they beat them by like a field goal last year?
Yeah, by barely last year.
And like JR was saying, BHS should technically be undefeated.
Technically.
I don't understand that whole thing about they pulled up a JV player who had played in the game before.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
I have no idea.
I've never heard of that.
At the same time, I also didn't know that was illegal.
To have a kid have to play 2 games in one night?
I know that was
I mean, I
illegal.
didn't know technically it was illegal, but it
the
makes
probability
sense.
of it is tiny, but I didn't know it was actually a rule. I had no idea that was actually a rule.
It's the craziest thing I've ever heard of. You ready? 3, 2. I think the president is handling this brilliantly in terms of threatening to provide Tomahawk missiles, long-range missiles to Ukraine, because it puts the fear of God in Vladimir Putin because it's the last thing he wants. But at the same time, does he really want America to escalate this thing and perhaps almost get involved? I think he's playing it well because I don't think Putin wants peace. 3, 2. It's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Monday TRBS. Well, it's a Monday. Dr. Jeet Singh will be here along with our Monday regular Kathy Abernathy and Lauren Skidmore, Executive Director of the Open Door Network. They've got a thing going on. God damn it. 3, 2. It's that. Wait a minute. Shohei Ohtani! He's back. Back in the USA. Huh?
Did you finish your part?
No, I didn't. Sorry. Did you just record all that?
Yes, I did.
I got to do the thing. 3, 2. 3, 2. It's that man again. Look what's 3, 2. It's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Monday TRBS. Well, it's a Monday. Dr. Jeet Singh will be here along with our Monday regular Kathy Abernathy and Lauren Skidmore, Director of the Open Door Network. They have an event going on Tuesday. She'll tell you all about it. All that and me at 3. It's TRBS, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday.
The big guys. Join the millions who choose something better. Because if
Shohei's
you're not
back.
using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts.
exactly
Include
what we
$5
needed,
credit for
Jack.
auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2.
And
on
then Mookie
News
comes
Talk
back and hits one in the left
96.1
field for a
and
base
AM
hit.
1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
Let's get it on.
So in case you're stuck in your car or stuck at work without a television, the Dodgers' dream beginning for Game 4 has been underway. Shohei Ohtani, who kind of broke out of a slump last night with a triple, just hit a solo home run to start the ball game. And Mookie Betts came back with a base hit, and now Will Smith has put one into right field for a base hit. Mookie will advance to third. Dodgers have runners on the corner and nobody out. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if we got a big, big lead? This is Jose Quintana pitching for the Brewers, and he has not had a spectacular season. In fact, I took down some notes on Mr. Quintana,
as a matter of fact. If I can find that, please stand by.
While you find that, I have an update on the Blue Jays game. It is now 2-2.
Ooh.
The Mariners are tied in the bottom of the 8th.
Ooh. Quintana was 11-7 with a 3.96 ERA in the regular season. He'll try to save the Brewers season in Game 4. The veteran isn't fully built up to pitch deep into a game. In fact, Quintana hasn't started a game since suffering a left calf strain on September 14, an ailment that sent him to the injured list and limited him to 1 3-inning relief outing in the NLDS against the Cubs. So we should beat this guy up, really. We really should, as well as the Dodgers are beginning to hit, particularly at the bottom of the lineup. And to start off with Shohei, a home run, and Mookie to follow it up. And then Will Smith gets a base hit, runners on the corner, nobody out. And here comes Freddie Freeman. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What else you got? Let's clear the board and get Sam Hill out of here.
We're actually clear already.
All right. Very good. Very good. Again, our top story of the day, the president is talking about escalating the war by providing Tomahawk missiles, long-range missiles, to the Ukrainians. These missiles have a range of about 1,000 miles, so they will be starting to bomb the Russians. And what they really want to do is stop the Russians from bombing Ukraine. They want to use these long-range missiles to hit the bases where their long-range missiles emanate from, and where they hit, because Putin is a brilliant strategist in terms of war, and they've been hitting the energy centers in Ukraine, putting out the lights and power, and basically trying to debilitate the citizenry and bring the Ukrainians to their knees. And you've heard the president say that he believes that the Ukrainians can not only win, but can win back the 20% of the country that the Russians have already devoured. I'm skeptical of that as much as I am skeptical of peace in that area. I don't think he wants it, he being Vladimir Putin. I just don't think he wants it. I think he wants to play the long game. I think he believes the longer it goes, the better it is for his country, that America will lose interest, Tommy Edman just got a base hit to score Mookie. Will Smith moves to third. The Dodgers still have runners on the corner with nobody out. No, that wasn't Edman. That was, oh yeah, it was Edman. So Freddie Freeman must have gotten out, didn't he? Is there one out? What's going on, Chris? My eyesight is horrible. Are there no outs?
They're not showing the outs at the moment.
Now, how do they do that? How do they put the scoreboard up without the outs?
That's what
I hate when they do that. Or there's sometimes they won't put up their stats. But Mookie walks home with the second run of the ball game. The Dodgers are off to a fast lead. And of course, if we win tonight, what do you all think? You think it'd be bad for us to sit out if this thing with Toronto and Seattle goes the full boat, goes the full 7? I just don't think
well,
so.
I mean, realistically, you're waiting a whole week anyway. No matter if they go to full 7 or not.
Because when is the World Series expected?
Starts next Friday.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless. And when is game 5? Is this game 5 for Toronto?
This would be game 5 for Toronto, yes.
So when is game 6?
Game 6, I believe, will be Sunday. I have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's either Sunday or Monday.
And then game 7 would be the next day?
Next day, I would assume, yeah.
So they would have 4 days. We would have like over a week, yeah. You're starting to scare me, Chris. I was all excited about the idea of getting rest.
Man, this is the only time in sports.
I'm starting to believe you.
This is the only time in sports where I keep telling people you really don't want a break in the playoffs, especially when you're hot. Because when you're hot, you take a break and you come back and try to be hot again. Man,
it doesn't always jive.
I mean, look at Philly. Look what happened with Philly. We took a whole week off because we had to wait for the Dodgers to get there, and then we couldn't hit.
Yeah. Teo Hernandez grounds out to first. Another runner scores. Will Smith. It's now 3-0 Dodgers. And we got a runner on. There can't be a runner on first. Their coverage is horrible.
There are 2 outs currently with the runner on first.
How can there be a runner on first? He just got tagged out going to first. Or was that a fly ball? Am I blind?
You might be a little blind on this one.
Wait, look, he grounds out to first. See the guy running at second. He's at second. He's not at first. You can't have a play at first and have a guy stay at first when there's a ground ball and you're at first base. You got to go to second.
Yeah, the
They're
bug
just
has not
late.
shifted.
Yeah, their coverage
There
is
it
horrible.
is. Now it's telling you it's at first.
Their coverage has been horrible from the beginning. The only good thing about their coverage is Joe Davis and John Smoltz. That's going to do it for us. Again, want to thank all of you that helped support Honor Flight this week. Again, a tip of the hat to the veterans that went on Honor Flight 52, the guardians that make it possible, the organization Honor Flight itself, Lily Marsh, and all of her people that make this happen. It is a remarkable organization, a remarkable group of people, and I hope you will continue to support Honor Flight. On Monday, Dr. Jeet Singh joins us, along with Kathy Abernathy, who also gave us $500, and Lauren Skidmore, Executive Director of the Open Door Network. In the meantime, a little chicken and rice tonight, Chris. For Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. Have a great weekend. I'll wrap to you Monday.
This is AM 1180 KERN Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Disgraced New York Congressman George Santos is getting out of prison thanks to President Trump, who has commuted his sentence.
The former New York representative, the first openly gay Republican elected to Congress, was serving more than 7 years in federal prison in southern New Jersey. Santos pled guilty to fraud and identity theft, admitting he scammed donors and stole the identities of 11 people, including family members. The judge agreed with prosecutors that Santos didn't seem remorseful. Santos was also charged with fraudulently collecting unemployment benefits and lying to Congress. He flipped a House seat representing Long Island, but served less than a year in office after it was revealed that he lied about college and former jobs and fabricated much of his life story. I'm Jennifer King.
President Trump hosted Ukraine's leader, Volodymyr Zelensky, at the White House and seemed hesitant in selling Kyiv long-range Tomahawk missiles that the Ukrainian leaders say.
Oil Camparo. I'm going healthy tonight. Nice. Sign off. See you guys. Thanks for listening. Have a good weekend.